bodies of Mrs. Vincent and the children found in the basement vanished. The medical examiner estimates they were dead for at least 3 days. The air conditioning system in the house was turned on, apparently to slow the decomposition of the body. The entire house, top to bottom, car, the office downtown, all of it, white plate. No. But I'll tell you one thing. He made one hell of a big mistake when he decided to clean house on my... Decided to clean house on my...
Alright guys, we are live. I'll dive over in a second. In the commentator booth today, we have Dr. Norbert and Mr. Farmer. So, kicking off in a second. Sorry about the delay. We had some global Twitch issues currently, which is a pain in the butt. So yeah, let me swap over. I'll get the boys going. And as you can see, we've got Spider Infected, and Infinity. Pat won priority and chose extracts. So if you give me 1 second, the boys should basically be deployed. Quick mod settings, we want to see top down on. Nice. All right, 2 seconds. I'll swap over, get the guys going, and let's get into it. Gentlemen, we are live.
Hey.
That's Dr. Norbert, and we got Mr. Ryan Farmer as well.
How's it going, team?
Pretty good, brother. Good to finally be started. So quick little pre-game discussion before we let the boys go. So we got Morgan obviously gone with Brotherhood. We've got Panther and Okoye coming in though, which is really nice. I just like seeing that. Panther's very good against other Panthers, so at least he'll have some additional control that he can dish out, except for just, his usual, all boom. Pat gone Wakanda, which I'm happy with. I liked his Wakanda matchups better than I liked his A-Force matchups. Spider Infected means we're probably going to see some hide muscle. No. Oh, no, we did. There is a hide muscle. Cool. I couldn't see it. Pat has hide muscle. Morgan has opted to not bring it, so that will be an interesting one to ask about at the end.
It's interesting. It's interesting because, especially with Spider Infected, you can't hold more than one of these at a time. So it's not like Angela can have, 3 of these Spider Infecteds or whatever.
Yeah. I find
looks like the higher muscle play is going on right now.
they're just getting it ready. He's just probably pre-measuring it. They're all deployed and stuff. So that'll be an interesting one. We'll talk about it. I'll go tell them they can start.
Okay.
There we go. So this is interesting. So I like that Morgan did not bring hide muscle. That there'd be some. He would have been thinking about that all week as well, which is kind of cool. But if you think about it, like what you said, Farmer, if he chooses spider infected, I mean, he can get one, and yeah, he can safely secure the other ones, but he's not going to be in range to steal Morgan's, so he'll only be 1 point behind. So that, I mean, while it is nice to be a VP in front, I don't really see it being too crazy.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the kind of points parity situation here, because I think it was really smart of Morgan to go with infinity formulas, because you'll know how they're in that grid right next to the spider infected.
Yep.
If Pat opts for a strategy to get a whole bunch of these spider infecteds on his side and run with them, Morgan can do his best to hold these secures. And don't forget, Morgan does not have priority, so he gets to move last, which means Pat will have a tough time moving. Now he's got Wakanda Forever for that light Wakanda wave final,
Yep.
get everyone off, but he gets that once, and then like Shuri can't go last and push somebody off.
Exactly.
So what Morgan wants to do is keep the game as close as possible for as long as possible, and he doesn't want to get into this sort of Wakanda wave situation where you find yourself in round 2 or 3. And when we say Wakanda wave, we mean they take a bunch of secures and extracts, and they're able to push you off and get up early big.
Oh yeah, and I don't think that's going to happen with the spider infected and infinities, which is really good pick by Morgan. I think going for this, he had the options of, I think, of demons and gamma as well. So infinities I actually prefer for him here. And you can see that Pat's actually deployed his Panther towards the bottom of the map. So I don't believe he can make that top spider infected. So if I was Morgan here, I would just cap my home spider infected on the bottom of this map here, bottom left. And then that way there's no chance. I mean, Angela can rush up and take the top one, but, at what cost? You have three characters staring at her.
And you saw Morgan measuring with Toad right now. I think he's just looking at everything. But it could have been useful if he could to move Toad, double move Toad up and grab that spider infected. And then if Angela or someone tries to attack Toad, he could slippery away back.
Yeah, true
out.
that. If
That's a really good matchup there.
Why do you guys think that Pat put Valkyrie in bodyguard range rather than putting him on that secure?
Probably just because of deception, I want to say. Yeah, there is deception on Morgan's side. So not so much bodyguard range, just within range 2.
Yeah, deception.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Very good point. Because she is quite afar, but she has that long move, so she's probably going to be able to make it there.
Just telling everybody about the Twitch issues that we were suffering from before. Basically, myself, Farmer, and there's a lot of other people globally are having a drama currently where no one can go live on Twitch. There is people live on Twitch, but you hit live, your Streamlabs, whatever, it does not load. We tried Streamlabs. Farmer, what do you use to stream?
I was using OBS. And OBS was like, can't connect to Twitch.
So exact same problems across the board. Luckily, I streamed to both, so we have still got a stream going. So yeah, that is sadly why there's nothing on Twitch, which frustrates me, but it's okay. It should be hopefully solved by Travis's game Monday morning.
I hope so.
Yeah, because you're streaming that one as well, aren't you? Luckily, I've got Facebook as well, so I've got redundancies in place. So we're looking at this.
I wonder if it's a global thing.
It definitely would be, considering I'm in Australia and Farmer's in America.
Oh yeah, he failed too. That's right. Yeah, okay.
Do you think it's worth using Toad to potentially attempt to steal that top spider?
I 100% think it's worth it, no question.
Does Toad have any type of movement shenanigans? He does have Wall Crawler. That's what I want to know.
Well, he's got Wall Crawler. So here are the advantages I like about Toad moving up to grab that spider infected if Morgan decides to opt there. 1, he can grab it, with his tongue a little further away.
Yep.
2, if Angela doesn't one-shot him, he can slippery back and secure his back serum canister or get behind that size 4 hauler.
Yep.
3, that puts Pat in a 5 threat versus 2 threat situation. and dedicating a lot of resources just to Toad.
Yes.
And if Toad is able to slippery away there, then Pat has tough decisions to make later on.
Here we go. Can he do it? This hauler, this map.
Pat. Looks like Pat disconnected.
No, that was Dr. Norbs. Oh, no, he has disconnected as well.
They both did.
I'm here.
No,
I'm in the game.
Says, just says
Oh,
DC
weird.
in game. Warming game dad disconnected. The old IT issues.
Yeah.
Something weird is happening.
Kicked me out just now.
Yep. It's okay. Yeah, that's a strange one. So Hugo Nordland has raised a good point. Angela has a good chance to one-shot him with a throw plus an attack, which is true. Her throw is set up, and there is a size 4 sitting next to Toad, so something to consider.
True, but Morgs does have brace, I think. No, he doesn't. Never mind.
Morgan is the only person in the cut that doesn't have brace, and he is. He thinks.
But where's Angela getting that power? She'd have to attack and generate enough power to get the throw.
No.
Toad...
She's online turn 1. It's only a 2 power throw.
Oh, you're right.
It's gross. I know. It looks like he's opted to not go for it.
Yeah.
Everyone's coming back in, which is good.
Do we know which leadership Morgs took?
I believe it was Magneto, but I will just ask him.
Because if Angela throws that size 4 hauler, that's a lot of power being passed around to all of his friends.
Yeah. I believe, like, talking to Morgan, he's, I think he's 70 or 80 games for Brotherhood, and he's used Mystique for like 10 of them.
Right.
Which upsets me because I'm pretty sure I'm 3 of those. And I was on the receiving end of it 3 times.
Totally.
So really safe play from Morgan here, turn 1. Really like it. Just secure your own things, maintain points parity, which is 5-4. Moving into the next turn, attempt to steal 1, go to 9-9, and move from there.
Well, what's really big here too is we take a look at Toad. He's on top of that cargo thing, so you can't actually have that hauler thrown at Toad.
No,
because it'll hit. It's going to hit that cargo can, right?
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people underestimate the strength of placing characters on top of terrain. Like, they usually try and sit behind it for cover, but you get cover on top, right? Regardless. So if you can place on top of something, always do it.
Yep.
You can't have characters thrown into you. You can't. It really protects you from a lot of the big burst damage.
Norbert, do you know who did all? Was it you or someone else that did all of the modeling and stuff for this map?
Pat did.
Oh,
Pat said he designed it.
It's Pat's map, yeah. Yeah. So he's got, I swear he's got hidden chambers in it somewhere.
Watch some extra size 4 just appear out of nowhere.
Yeah. No, but I really like the variety on the TTS maps. Like, you guys, everyone on the team has done a really good job on all of that.
Yeah, I like it. It's really great.
Well,
actually, Norbert, I have a base texture map I've been wanting to send you guys as like another option.
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, great.
Take note of Morgan's placement of his construct, and now his placement of his Okoye. So his Okoye is going to be largely out of range of that Shuri. Possibly even if she moves all the way forward to contest the serum canister, it still might be out of range. Which is great. So now Toad is going to stay in place, but the Magneto construct is also set up for Magneto to not get pushed around as well.
Yeah, and that's the strength, the high-end Magneto play you see with the constructs. Just safe play, doing a really good job, making sure they've got backstops for people to keep Shuri from bullying too hard.
Yes. If you are Pat, do you double move your Panther to Morgan's serum canister to go for 5-3? I probably would. There's no repercussions coming your way. It is a lot of resources being dedicated to Panther down the bottom. And the worst part about being Black Panther is there's a good chance that he will survive it.
Well, the other, I say you don't, because if you move Panther too far up, Mystique can deception Panther out into nowhere.
That's true. That's true.
That's that's something more, and that deception is really that play. He's got to be Morgan's ace in the hole to keep to keep Pat controlled and bunched up and not spread around. He's got to keep Mystique in a place where he can really punish Pat if he lets one of his characters hang out to dry a little too much.
Absolutely. We saw that last week with Morgan's game, and he did it to a Black Widow, I think, on turn 3 or turn 4. You know, it's really nice seeing someone
middle of
that's,
nowhere.
you know, even a lot of people write Deception off after the first turn. They just assume it won't be relevant. But, you know, there's always a moment where you see a single character sitting on a victory point. You can just launch them into the middle of nowhere.
Absolutely.
He's thinking about it with his Panther. I don't think, as much as it's really nice to deny Morgan a single victory point at this point, that is a lot of resources being committed to the bottom. And just, oof, it's no good. I would rather see
I'm actually really curious as to why Panther isn't holding one of these. Does he not want Panther bullied? Does he not like move? It's not bullied, but does he not want Panther being moved around by the spider infected?
Possibly. You'll notice both
something that I'm really curious about.
His two main damage dealers. Now, Panther is an exceptional damage dealer. His two main damage dealers both don't have it, which means they're not going to get repositioned and have to use their actions to move back in. Tom Harper's asking, did Toad go for Pat's rear spider infected? No, he did not. There's a size 3 and a size 4 piece of terrain sitting next to it, and Angela staring at him very aggressively. I think she's like licking her lips if she went up there.
So Morgan now checking to see if he can double move Mystique to take that one that Okoye's on, because Valka's out of range of it.
That would be
think he may
nice.
I think you may have seen with the bend, there's might just not quite enough range.
Yeah, true. And that's the thing, when you see these size 4 and size 3 pieces of terrain in the middle of the board, can be very frustrating, because unless you're a team that runs Warcaller or Flight, it actually can really limit your options to get anywhere. Like this, Mystique normally could make that no dramas, but now she can't do it. So I think.
Well, keep in mind something that Morgan's also doing very smartly is checking all the ranges on Wakanda Forever.
Yep.
Each time he just checked to see if Okoye would have a shot at Black Panther.
Yep.
He checked the Shuri, to make sure he's out of range. Every turn you're gonna see Morgan checking that Wakanda Forever range and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Remembering that Mystique has stealth, so there's a good chance that if she does move forward, he just places towards the back of the point.
Yep.
No repercussions. This is actually kind of good as well, because I would favor Mystique and Black Panther to smash Okoye and Valkyrie on this bottom objective.
Well, especially because you can't bodyguard.
Yeah, look at this. Pat's already looked at the threat. So seeing this come across, you'd be concerned, right? But see, it's beautiful as well sending Mystique to the bottom because of Asteroid M, right? Magneto can just go wherever he needs to go.
100%. I really like the early game positioning of both players here. Both players are doing their best to sort of set up like what they want to do for the rest of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Morgan is trying to draw those battle lines, which is why that Infinity Formula pick was really good to keep Pat spread out as much as possible. Now, I wonder if we'll see Pat move his characters
We're possibly
over
to
the
see
top
this
of the
size
screen.
4 piece of terrain get yeeted at someone.
So it's interesting though. You say the setup was good, but Pat has had to completely crisscross 2 of his characters.
Yeah, less than
to
ideal.
what Morgan's done. Yeah,
that's less than ideal.
I would say Morgan's dictating it at the moment.
Ooh, there is the throw. That is going to hurt.
He's going to see if he can hit Panther with it instead of Mystique.
Yeah, very nice placement by Morgan there. You would much rather Mystique gets hit by that. Even if she does get dazed, you would much rather that heads down that path. And to be honest, if she doesn't get dazed, that's Magneto arriving onto Angela. Because if she doesn't get one shot here, you will see possibly. I don't think you'd see Magneto go down there, because then you only got Toad and Okoye up the top. Bow, thank you very much for the stars, mate. Appreciate the support.
I think they're checking to see if it hits
Zoom in.
Panther instead.
Panther is out a little bit, but I mean, it does get thrown from the center of, what's the name? It does get thrown from the center of Angela's base.
What are they
Maybe?
checking now?
Not sure.
Yeah, I'm not following that. Not sure about
It's
that
difficult
either.
sometimes in the commentator booth, just trying to figure out what exactly is going on. So he's probably having a look right now to see if he has an attack for next turn. That's the only thing. He's got a few range. Well, most of our attacks are range 2. If you're Pat, do you throw this terrain? Yes, I know Panther, like, it would be nice to get onto Panther. I don't see Panther getting one shot by it because obviously he's got 6 health. And Panther should actually probably block at least 1 or 2 of them. So, I mean, that's a good start into working through Panther. But Morgan's team will get 4 power. Plus Panther will get, 3 to 4 power. Or Mystique will get 3 to 4 power.
And he's got that field dressing med pack too. So if he needs to, at some point Asteroid M Magneto over to field dressing.
Yep. So Morgan's probably looking at Deception right now.
Yeah, that's true too. Angela's sort of out there.
Yeah, and Deception, Mystique, it's just be the active character. Mystique may play this card, which is a little nasty trick for Deception that it doesn't have to be Mystique being the active character. So you could send that Angela just into irrelevance and also away from the size 4 terrain. Not that it matters because her strike does teleport her.
Oh, there it
and
goes.
she'll be back. It's nice. Good play.
I didn't know that it could interrupt somebody else's turn.
No, Pat's done. He
he decided
not to do it. Yeah, it doesn't interrupt. That'll be ridiculous.
That would be absurd.
Yes.
I really expected that hauler to get thrown.
Probably, like, again, I don't think it actually benefits him that much right now. The hauler will be thrown next turn, but
you want that hauler to be thrown in conjunction with additional attacks.
That's right.
That you're dazing someone.
Yeah, exactly. And you would lose an activation of Angelic Assassin if you accidentally one-shot Mystique right here. Plus, Morgan's team will get 4 power each. 4 power will be spread equally along his guys, which is brutal because then Panther will have Mantle online next round, which will be good to use.
Panther's going to have Mantle online regardless because he's going to get the extra power from the serum canister.
Then he possibly could be looking at a pounce as well. You don't want to. Panther is actually a character that is very scary when he's powered up.
So many options with him, right?
Nice. So advance him away. Brutal. That's good. So it means that Angela is now been slowed down, right? So
you say that, but I think it's good in Pat's favor because now Deception's off the table. I mean, sure, he slowed him down by 1, but now he can I thought Deception was really what keeping Pat in check.
It is, but the problem with Infinity Formulas is, unlike those D-shaped missions and things like that, as the game goes on, it does get bunched around each point. So it might be good just to get it done. Because now Angela's out there, you can potentially look at, a future asteroid. So Angela, if she does not activate first next round, could be in danger. You got a few characters there that are happy to have a go at her.
True.
And Morgan would love to get Angela off the board early.
Angela, I'll put this question to you too. Moving into Season 5, game state as it currently is, do you tech for Angela or do you take up? Because I think you have to sit in one or the other. You can't choose to ignore her. She's that strong.
I think honestly, I think that me personally, you tech for Angela. I mean, I'm a Web Warrior player, but the big thing is that she's very mobile and she's going to hit you hard, but a lot of characters can hit you hard. So if you can build a sort of defensive squad, Angela actually doesn't like going up against Venom, believe it or not.
Yep.
Like there are counters to her. She doesn't, despite her 5 threats, she does feel pretty fair to me.
Yeah, she's fine. It's when she's combined with hide muscle and things like that where she starts to become just ridiculous, right?
I would like to see hired muscle put on a ban list.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually built my thing for season 5. I've already basically built my roster, and it's not hired muscle isn't in there. I'm just assuming that it's going to be gone. I hope it's gone. So Magneto moving up, looking potentially see if he can get a nice throw into that Panther, which would be decent.
I talked to a couple players, newer players who participated in the league this year who had a really good time, but they did feel like because they weren't in on the know on hired muscle, it felt really bad.
Oh, I bet.
Hmm.
I mean, you were on the receiving end of it, weren't you?
I mean, I was, but I even knew it was coming. These are players
Still
who
feels
are
bad.
newer, who didn't even know anything about it. You know.
So Panther is having something thrown at him. He does have the power. He's opting not to.
Not going to brace.
Not going to brace. Was size 3 or size 2 that one? I think it was size 2. So 1 power, 1 damage. Wakanda Forever, well not Wakanda Forever, Wakanda Superpower coming in, and it is a block.
Wow.
I'll be. No, he's on the Infinity Formula. I was going to say I'd be very happy seeing Panther spend his power like that, but he's on the Infinity Formula, so he'll still have Mantle.
But he won't get other, the other stuff in.
Yeah.
You can see Morgan, he just got power from that, right?
Yep.
Or is basically free, I think. Was that a size 2?
Well, he would. So what he's done is he's given Mystique a power. No, he hasn't. She already had it. He would have got power from it. He's having to think about who gets it.
So, but he's also trying to mill out Pat's brace early. And I think it was smart of Pat to be like, no, I'll eat that. That's just a size 2. But you throw enough of these little things out there.
That's what you do.
Brace is probably trying to be saved for like the hauler or something.
And he's going to give Mystique a power. So Magneto and Mystique got a power. I was talking about brace with Morgan about Travis's game in particular last week. Travis he just couldn't draw out the brace because his opponent said that his brace was essentially stapled to one specific piece of terrain. And in that situation, I would throw the terrain immediately, right? Because I'd rather you get rid of brace turn 1, turn 2, than have to deal with a brace sitting there at turn 4 or 5. Or
right.
Where
Absolutely
it's going to be a lot more relevant.
Yeah.
So
you could just get on with the game after that.
Exactly. I would throw that size 4 piece of terrain straight into Panther, draw it out so that it's just done.
Right.
Whoa. I just got disconnected. That's a pain in the butt. Luckily it saves. What is going on with TTS and Twitch today?
I don't know, man.
I'll just dive across and let the boys know. Hey guys, TTS just crashed.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got it saved. Yeah, it looks like I was just looking at the TTS lobby. A lot of people just crashed, so it's a TTS problem.
Yeah, sure.
I've got it saved though, so it'll come up. Just give me 1 second.
That's all right.
Yeah, there's a global Twitch outage currently for a lot of people. Go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, there's a lot of different online sites that are having troubles right now, right? Different gaming services and servers.
Yeah.
But it occurs to me as well that one downside of our time is it's getting closer to US prime time, which is when TTS has the most problems.
You're on the clock.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Just loading it up now. It's all under the same details. Just give me 1 second. I'll load the whole thing up and we're good to go.
Just let us know when to join.
Yep.
It's all good.
Games, what did I say? Alright. So just for your info, the autosave has picked up right before your throw into Panther. The autosave only goes every couple of seconds. Like every couple of minutes or something. So you guys
that's actually
recreate
perfect because that was the last model move. So
yeah, exactly. It's usually pretty good. So I will jump out. Feel free to join and keep going. Yeah.
The game's still called Morgan versus Pat?
Yeah, everything's identical. Everything's identical. Should be at least. There we go. Everyone's joining in, so I assume it is.
And that was red on 5 points, yeah?
Yes. Yes, that is your roster on the right-hand side of the screen. 100%. Pat is playing Brotherhood.
Yes, this is great, this game.
My dreams have come true.
That's right. I think oh, okay.
Yep.
So I'll go get that cargo. I'll wait for you to... Oh, Pat, you've joined. So I'll get rid of that cargo. I'll just try and make sure it's range 3 again. to make sure Magneto's in the right spot.
All right, I'm back. So they try to
Honestly.
recreate that where Magneto was, and off they go. Thank God for the TTS autosave function.
For real.
Yeah, man. Like Pat made a good point just then that due to the time that these two are playing, they are very, very slowly approaching like Friday night in the States, where it becomes like TTS prime time, and is when you usually have all the dramas.
Yep. So they'll just recalculate points, and as we saw before, Pat will have 5 and Morgan will have 4. But Morgan's okay with that. Just not being down. But I feel like when you play MCP, being down by 2 or 3 feels like a lot.
It's a lot, but it feels like a lot, but it's not. To make this a little bit easier, boys, I might just stream my screen to Discord for you. So you got the up-to-date thing. Just to will take some stress out of it. And I'm not sure if that's what the problem is, but I don't think it is. But I'll just stream my screen for you.
Yeah. I can alt F4 out.
So should we leave out? Okay.
There you go.
There we go.
All up and running for you?
Yep, I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it just fine.
Perfect.
We're good.
I'm not streaming to Twitch, so it should be fine streaming to Discord at the same time. Farmer, how does my mic sound, mate? I was mucking around with mic settings before, and I'm hoping
no
I've done a
issues
good
at
job.
all.
Good. I was hoping I did a good job for it, mate, because I know you are the expert.
Sounds great, dude.
Right, Okoye moving up. Oh, sorry, Shuri moving up.
No, Shuri moving up.
Yes. That was the Spider Infected. Really like that aggressive. So I've discussed Spider Infected. This is months ago with Morgan. It can be the slowest game around, or it can be a really fast game around. And I like this because, me personally, I like to pick one of the characters that's thrown it, and failed on the roll, so you can advance them. And I really like to put them into a compromising position, or put multiple characters into it.
Man, it looks like Okoye is getting moved too here.
Yeah, so Pat's rolled both, which is good. So now Pat has a choice. Do I move back and go for my serum canister? Do I just push forward and go for Morgan's serum canister? What do I do? Do I activate Angela first? But if I don't, my Okoye's in a compromising spot. Morgan rolling the hit. I can't remember if Spider.
No, doesn't Morgan get to choose where they go on the Spider Infected?
That's what he's just done. So he's moved Pat's characters, and it is on a hit. So one of Morgan's characters does get advanced, Toad.
Oh, that's not good.
Looks like he can't be placed there.
Yeah, that's the thing. That Morgan did a really savvy thing there.
Yeah, try and block it from going forward.
Yeah. Because he can't overhang on that thing either.
That's right. So he's kind of in a weird spot.
Who chooses what order to do it in if you have multiple people?
Priority first. And priority does all of theirs, and then whoever doesn't have priority does the rest of theirs. It should be, I will just point out...
Right, so but you can choose to do it your own people in the order that you want.
Yes, your people can do whatever order you want, I believe.
Yes, yeah. You do all, but what I'm saying is one person does all of them, and that is the person with priority. The person without priority does the rest of theirs, but you choose the order you do them in.
I don't want to give that in. Can you bounce around? Like if I've got 2 people on 2 different ones, do I have to do all of them on one of them and then all of them on the other, or can I go back and forth? I actually don't know that.
No, any order. So you can go left to right to left to right to whatever.
Yeah, it looks like he just dropped Toad back a bunch.
That's probably good for Morgan. You wouldn't be upset about seeing Toad back there, to be honest.
Does he have he does have a spider. Okay. Yeah, well,
he does.
He just got moved. Yeah. Okay.
So in terms of the order, I can't check on because I dropped off Jay, but what happens with the order of gaining power on the Infinity Formula and the Spider Infected moving? Which happens first?
Let's double check. Spider Infected is in the cleanup phase. So
no power. I saw power phase there.
No, cleanup phase. Spider Infected.
Cleanup.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. They score VPs. It is in the power phase. Sorry. Yeah. Should read the rest of it.
Yeah, they're both during the power phase. So which happens first?
The
Infected.
person with priority chooses, I believe.
Do they choose, or is in the rules do extracts go before secures?
No, because I've seen it with Spider Infected and Demons Downtown. The person with priority can choose. So you can choose to do all the Spider Infected, hopefully have the opponent roll up a few of their Spider Infecteds, and you advance them onto the Demon Portal.
The only reason I ask is this is important for power generation stuff for them.
Looking at Shuri, she only has 1 power. So I would say that they chose Spider Infected first.
Yeah.
Geez. Morgan's Okoye, 3 blocks. Be happy about that. Sadly, still takes 1 unless he does a reroll. So he's starting with Shuri. That's what I'm seeing potentially, which is probably a good move.
Yeah,
Phil Wager. If there's a conflict, priority player chooses order. So
just pushing Okoye off that.
Yes.
Getting rid of that bodyguard.
1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Oh, Okoye had cover. I was like, how did he get to 4 blocks? Okoye had cover.
Yeah. Yep.
Aha, I was correct, boys. It's almost like I haven't read the rule book. So disarm coming in onto Magneto, that is brutal, but just basically Magneto won't be as crazy this turn, but he's still got 5 power, so he's still going to be crazy.
Well, that disarm doesn't affect his throws either, right?
That's right, yeah. So like, there is characters out there where like that really hurts him, MODOK, for example, things like that. But realistically, it slows him down, but doesn't stop. The train's still coming, and you're still on the tracks.
Yeah,
as Travis said in his interview.
So what do you do if you're Morgan with this next turn? So Shuri went, she pushed off Okoye, and now she's going back to secure that Infinity Formula again. Where is your target here? I mean, the ones you want to kill are Panther and Angela, but neither of them have objectives. That means you have to attack other people, which is really smart gamesmanship by Matt.
It is.
Or Pat.
I would consider possibly using Panther to push that Angela further away. Although she does long move, so it's basically irrelevant, but at least if you push her away, she won't be able to long move. I mean, her teleport still allows it anyway from an attack. I don't know. Do you just launch your Panther over to Valkyrie and just hold that point? Let's have a look. I don't know. It's a tough call. Morgan actually has a couple of good options. The disarm kind of makes all these options equally okay. Without the disarm, I probably would have gone Magneto just to attempt to Asteroid M and start doing good stuff into Angela. You know, Asteroid M across.
Yeah.
Have an attack into Angela. Smash the horde.
I honestly think you might.
Well.
I think you might consider moving up with Panther to dunk on Okoye to get a spider infected.
Yeah. Travis Foss. Question for Norbs. What's the plans for the next TTS League? Anything exciting?
Well, we're going to do the whole cut differently. So we're going to go to that X and 1 type of standard.
Love it.
Yep.
Love it.
You may not like how we're going to actually make it even bracket though. Out of the because we still need to have a clean 16. So that's still to come out how we're doing that. And also thinking about how we're going to do maps.
Oh, cool.
Next
okay.
season.
Yeah, I didn't even think about maps.
Yeah.
That's exciting. X and 1, it makes me really excited for next season. All my most recent large tournaments I've done in my previous game all followed that format, and it felt good. You know, X and 2 makes day 2, and then, you know, whatever is cut, or X and 1 makes the cut, and off you go. And it does make for a weird number on the cut sometimes, but then the way they used to do it was undefeated, you know, top of Swiss, then second in Swiss, then third in Swiss, until they got to a clean cut, and then off they go.
So consideration here from Mystique is she double taps Okoye, and then if she gets 2 damage, blows up the barrels next to her and kills her.
Plus, if you look at that, that's perfect for Mystique there. She's outside, Okoye's outside of range 2.
Yep.
Whoa. Let's just attempt to one-shot her, right? Travis is saying strike better map building competition. We could do that. 4 damage from Morgan into 1 for Pat. So currently Okoye would dazed.
It's the Doramage reroll, but nothing.
Nothing. Wakanda comes in.
Wakanda reroll.
Nothing. That's interesting because now Mystique's second part of the rapid fire, which is still going to go off, potentially can be used to do whatever. She's not having to use an action. Oh, Morgan.
Morgan is going off on
Morgan.
Okoye. He has nightmares about her. He wants her out.
Oh yeah, Morgan for the last 2 days has been just saying like, I need to just channel my inner Triple E, my inner Travis, to get me into a position of power in this game.
You got those 3 hits there.
Ooh.
That reroll. You still have a Wakanda reroll, so you can reroll that again.
The old Wakanda fishing. Oh.
Nothing though. So Okoye is going to go down.
1 from 3 is fairly accurate though, if you think about it. His Panther did use a Wakanda reroll before and got the success. So 1 in 3 is pretty much accurate. You'd feel bad though because that Okoye has just done 4 rerolls, which means that the 1 in 3 means it's coming on the next roll. Nice.
So Mystique picks that up, and she has an action still. So I think, move her out of there.
Yeah, get away from Angela. Still nervous for that Panther though, because without Brace, there's a big truck sitting next to him. I mean, I'd be more nervous with Mystique because Mystique has a much higher chance of just getting straight one shot. At least Panther can have a go at it with 4 defense. It's big.
That was a big attack, but I mean, that's the kind of RNG you see out of the spiders. He was able to move her exactly where she couldn't get her martial artist and within one of those barrels, because even if he misses that second attack, he has to spend some power, but he can blow those barrels to with an action.
It's ready to go. I know you're triggered, Jacob Collins. That's why I say those things for the numbers, guys. That's how dice work in my mind. Very superstitious. You notice I got my blue shirt on today. It's my lucky blue shirt. Travis and Morgan both won when I'm wearing my blue shirt. They've won every game I've worn this shirt for. So
no bias from the commentators here. Yep. Zero bias.
Hey, Strike better. Gotta rep them. It's like the legendary Paul Heaver World Championship shirt. He won 3 World Championships in the same shirt. I'm channeling that.
It's absurd. Paul's a legend.
What was the shirt?
Just the random Star Wars shirt that he wore to his first. He won his first World Championship in it, and then the next World Championship he went to, he got to the top cut, wore his shirt, won that one, and then the next World Championship he went to, he did the exact same thing and won that one.
So Norbert, if you're Pat, what do you think you do on this follow-up turn?
Well, okay, if you're looking at the bottom, clearly Valkyrie could do something but into Mystique, but why would you want to except for the point? But because the problem with that is that you have Black Panther then who's going to do a follow-up, and it's going to be bad.
Right.
So this bottom looks really ugly. Though Angela is over there, but she's just having to move. She's not going to do very much.
The moving first is rough for her.
Yeah.
There is a size 4 hauler next to it though.
Yeah, she could do the hauler, which I mean, she clearly would.
Did
so it's 2
Morgan
attacks.
pre-measure and I would say that
I think he got her out. I think he's out of range too. I think he did it correctly.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, man.
Nice eyeball there, because I don't believe I saw him pre-measure that. Sorry, trying to get the right camera angle. There we go.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm thinking it's Angela, goes over, does a hit, throws the hauler.
Yep.
Hopes for the best.
Travis has come in and said, as Triple E, I'd go into Angela here. I'd keep my dice momentum going. That's why you're a madman, Travis. So I mean, Valkyrie's now got to do a move. She does have charge online, but she has to either charge or Warrior of Legend. It's one or the other. No advanced R&D sitting there, so there's no chance of that happening. 3 power on Valkyrie is always just like that awkward number where you're like, what do I do? Do I Dragon Fang? Do I charge? Do I Warrior of Legends? Like, which one works out? I would consider doing Angela here personally, as Pat, just because you know Panther's probably going to disappear, and then you're going to lose your chance for an attack. Angela can still double move and catch Panther, and still hit him with a size 4 piece of terrain. But if you get him now, you can still get an attack as well. Ooh, or we're going to go for the easy option, which is to do the pursuit. I believe it is, whatever it's called. Where is Angela?
What I really like about Angela activating here too is if you get Mystique, right, or get her really low, it's the point, and she can contest that point. Yep. Panther then has a useless turn. Panther has to move off that objective to be useful, or he just camps there and covers 2.
Yep. That's a good point, Jacob.
I mean, Morgan might be okay with Panther holding 2 points over and over and over, right?
Yeah, I mean that's closer to victory every round. So we're looking at the Blades of Ichor, I think, or maybe a Heaven's Wrath. Heaven's Wrath would be a bit of a waste here, so I'd assume it's probably a Blades of Ichor. Or we're gonna go for throw. Can he get that past? Let's zoom in. Currently not overlapping now. Is that hitting?
Yep.
That's touching Mystique now. Is it touching Okoye? It is not.
Nice. God, these guys are playing by the millimeter.
Have to. These top level games are always decided by these kinds of things. They'll just every millimeter matters.
Interesting. Okay, so he's gone after the softer target.
Here we go. Big throw. Ooh, double crit's a good start.
Oh, Christ almighty. Morgan's dice are...
Maybe love and live. 3 box, so he takes 2. You would
oh
be...
my God, and then shield. Oh,
be very happy about that.
Wow. Wow.
So we were talking to the guys before the game started, and Pat and Morgan both said that this season has felt very different for them because, you know, in a normal tournament, you just rock up, hey, walk up to the table. I've got 5 minutes. I'm just straight into the game, right? You just play. But they said this season, it's a big tournament, a lot more pressure going on. They've mentioned that it has been, you know, quite stressful. You know, you just sit back and, you know, you're just like, oh, geez, like, how's this game going to go? Morgan is channeling his inner Triple E.
Morgan's defense dice are on fire today.
Come on. Wow.
I know Travis is sitting at home, standing
on
there.
Fire.
Just standing there like Goku, just hands up in the air, just take it.
Wow.
Does get the free advance though, which is good.
Yep.
Mystique.
It's important to note that the dice, with enough rolls, they do come around, right? Like Morgan has had some good hot defensive stuff right now. But
it does, you know, always flips. It always
they'll flip at some point with enough rolls.
The beauty of this is it's a fast objective, but it's because of the infinities and how they're spread out, you can keep pace with everybody. So Pat's definitely not out of this. Still got Valkyrie activation to go as well. Darren, our table judge, his power has gone out. So Abby is now our table judge.
Mm-hmm.
What are we looking at here? So do you bring Panther in to push that Valkyrie and force... I don't think he can make it that far in one move. He does have med pack. Panther could move med pack Mystique and move back as well. There's also that. He's here on mobile data. Cool. Okay. No, he's still here.
All right. Good.
That disarm, very nice on that Magneto. That stops Pat's upper flank from disappearing. So Pat is attempting to block Asteroid M. I don't think he can. Be very... I mean, it stops the Asteroid M from losing Valkyrie. But I mean, you still can smash Angela with it. I don't think Morgan's going to Asteroid M, not for at least a couple of turns. He's holding advantage on this bottom point. If he does Asteroid M, he leaves Panther open to killing a couple of 2-pointers, which I would rate Panther there. So I think he'll leave Magneto up there for a while to attempt to get Panther onto his flip side. Once Panther's on his flip side, those 2-pointers can have a go at him. But not currently. He's basically invulnerable to those two. Yeah. That's funny, Travis.
I mean, the other thing to keep note of too here is you are in a situation where you can get rid of Okoye too with Panther. Yep. Enough power.
Yeah.
And getting rid of another one of Pat's characters is really solid.
Huge.
Because it'll be really tough for Pat to flip that priority back to him to go last like he wants to do.
Yep.
To push off the objectives.
Huge. I like Morgan's got field dressing, and field dressing in Brotherhood and also A Force is kind of trivial to get the power for it, which is really cool. So that's definitely a great card to pick into them. That's why Morgan doesn't have Brace. He's gone with field dressing in that choice there. So he can throw 2 pieces of terrain into each other, right, and just generate all the power he needs to get that field dressing off. So you can actually afford to get a bit more aggressive here. If Morgan can get another Daze, Magneto going. That size 4 hauler has just been braced for impacted. That's good to go. Geez, you'd be breathing a sigh of relief here, right? Both the size 4s have disappeared. Yeah, you'd be happy. It's done. Marcus, to do that, I'd need to kill the stream. So I'll just keep it here for now.
All right. So we have Morgan going with which character?
Asteroid M. Oh, we're going.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we go?
Yeah.
Would you Astro? Oh, you can't actually, because Magneto is the only one I'm not holding objective. I was like, would you get Mystique out of there? But she can't. I'm positive that Magneto can fit and still get Valkyrie there. I'm pretty sure he can. And it's kind of nice because Magneto has used the brace for impact on Panther, and now when he teleports in, Valkyrie has no protection against it.
Yeah, he's just milled it.
Yeah, just milled it out. It's a nice little bit of magic terms there.
Well, this is really smart play by Morgan, because now the Shuri, arguably one of the most dangerous characters to push him off these objectives, is got to take a bunch of time to move off to even be useful on the bottom of the fight.
Yep.
And her rerolls as well. That Asteroid M is just so powerful.
It's such a good card. The old brothership. And I believe that Valkyrie within range 2 as well, which means it's only 4 dice, but he will get rerolls, so it'll actually, I expect it to spike a little bit higher. Yeah, crit and a wild into 2 crits from Pat. So there it is, spun around. Morgan with 4.
2 go through.
Pat does get to get a reroll.
Yep.
Yeah.
Spends power for that Wakanda reroll. Man, so the past 4 Wakanda rerolls for Pat, he has rerolled into no defensive successes.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
which
we're going to go again.
hurts,
Second attack. Yeah. 1 hit.
Reroll all 3.
1 block. Yeah, safe.
Yep, so that spins that back around a bit.
Yep. He does get to do a throw, though, into that Valkyrie. It's not going to be enough to daze her. So I don't know
he's
if
powered her up.
Yeah, I don't know if I would I'll probably just medpack Mystique here, to be honest. I would not do another throw. I would consider the medpack in a Mystique, get her topped off, and try and get that what's the name? Spider Infected just behind a bit more safer health level. Boom. Hold it. There it is.
There it is.
Play.
Smart play.
Nice.
Smart.
Because, like I said, when you have abilities that can throw, guys, listeners, you want to use those on turns where you can daze them. You want to be patient, because if you do them too early, you're just powering them up. You want to save them for the end if you can, or to, like what Morgan did here, weed out that brace for impact, double hit them, and then look at what their power's at, and either, if you have a character throw a character for the guaranteed 1 damage, or terrain throw, finish off with something like that, where you, no matter what, you're dazing them so they can't go.
Absolutely. If I am Morgan, by the way, I would be looking at my top serum canister to get both Okoye and Toad into a position where, at least the first one you move, you need to get him into a spot where Panther can't push them off. Because currently, the bottom one will be equalized once Valkyrie comes in, but Panther still to come in. Morgan might actually slip in front a little bit here.
I wonder if what do you think of Pat just taking Valkyrie and running across to the side of the table and just abandoning the bottom end of the screen?
don't know. I mean, definitely he would then crush that top half, but she's not. It'd take her what 2 turns, like 1 whole activation plus an additional one just to reach that serum canister on his side. Possibly 2 whole turns just to reach that top serum canister. So I don't know.
Yeah,
If
her
that's a good play.
speed just isn't enough. Once you've committed with Valk
It's
to
on.
the sides of the board, you kind of got to leave her there.
You'd have to hope that the game would go to round 5 for that to be relevant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have a choice here with Valk. You either charge up and get a double attack on Mystique, or you move into a Warrior of Legend on her. The charge is probably best because if you can get enough power, you'd be able to get that Warrior of Legend on the second attack anyway.
Yeah. I mean, you got both. He has 4 power, so he can afford both.
Oh, he has 4 right now. I thought I only saw him with 2.
No, that from the hit from Magneto. He's only done the
charge. Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Whoa, good attack.
Really good roll.
Whoa, Mystique is going to take 3. Possibly will take 4, depending on this Wakanda reroll coming in. Nope, she takes 3.
And here's where you're probably sure you're going to lose Mystique here.
Yeah.
But Panther can always go in and field dressing, but you're going to lose that point back.
That's right. Yeah. Well, he could move up field dressing and walk back, but I mean, it does feel bad seeing Panther sit back there.
No. What I'm saying is you're going to lose the spider infected that Mystique's holding.
Oh, he's thrown Magneto away. That's probably good for... Good that the throw... Obviously, the throw couldn't go into Mystique because Magneto was blocking it. Second attack coming in. I'm assuming that we're going to see a Warrior of Legend come out. Emptied it.
Bit of a risk here, though, because if he doesn't hit...
Dragon Fang. Oh, Morgan spun around. Yeah, that's dazed.
There it is.
That's dazed.
Why do you think he threw Magneto first before just doing this? This?
Don't know. There's no real reason. Okay. I think the ordering doesn't really matter too much there. Mystique is powered up. You can say that again. I don't think that bleed happens. Is it before damage is dealt on that bleed? The judges. Yeah, after the attack was resolved, power character gains bleed. So I don't think that bleed actually should happen, which is important for his field dressing coming up.
Oh, sure.
If he even opts to do it, right?
True. I'm just saying.
Right. Almost at this point, because oh wait, Valk can't pick that up. She already has one, so never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
So he does need to field dress. Sorry, the angle made me not see it on this.
That's it.
So yeah, so you do need to field dressing Mystique up to go and grab that back.
Yes, and Panther also can't grab one.
Right. So yeah, that's the play.
I mean, Mystique's activated though, so she can't go and grab it.
Oh, true.
Yep.
So that's just gonna sit there.
Yep. We're not sure, Graham. There's no real downside to throwing first for Magneto.
I think Graham's right, though. If Valkyrie was really high on power and wouldn't have been able to gain a lot of it back from the attack, you'd want to spend it first. But in this case, she wasn't on that much power.
No, she wasn't. She had like 4, I think. And no, she had 5. So 2 for the throw, 3 for the Dragon Fang.
Yeah. I think Graham, it's a good point, because I've been in those positions too, where I'm like, well, I better burn some of this power, or it's just going to be wasted potential.
This Panther's looking to come down.
Hmm.
Still got all you've got in field dressing down here, which is brutal because Magneto got a decent amount of terrain around him once that new construct comes down. Do like this.
Panther's got a pounce online too.
Yep.
Yeah, I like this. If you can take Valk out, what's she at right now? You can deal 4 onto her with Panther. Then it's a 2-point swing. Yep. You knock off that spider infected, and if you position yourself right, you get that infinity formula, which is what he's measuring right now.
Or at least you tie with Angela.
Well, tie with Angela, right?
Well, if you pound,
depending on where you're at with power, if you field dressing Mystique as well, after you dunk on Valk, if you are able, you could get that point as well. It all just depends on what Morgan decides here. how the power plays out because
Yeah.
he's got 4 on Panther.
It's a good little point there, Jacob. Both the constructs, hard to see them, but they are on the top of the map, which means that there'll be no constructs being spawned for Magneto. And there's no throws on that top side of the map as well. So they will stay there. Just going to change angles just so we can get a better angle on this attack. So he can throw
Now
himself.
I think he's going to look to pounce, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, that will... She's got no power,
Or maybe
so no
attack
reroll.
first. Maybe attack first.
If he pounces, he can pounce onto the serum canister and then possibly push Angela towards Okoye.
Checking all the ranges.
Well, it's not enough damage anyway to daze Valkyrie and get Angela off the point. So I think that point will be tied out.
Well, again, unless he uses a field dressing after he pounces on Mystique if he's got the power.
That's true. He's only at 4 though, so the pounce will take him to 2.
And if he's able to do an attack and get more, and how much is that VP worth?
Yeah, if he does a good enough attack here into Valkyrie, he'd be able to do both. But I don't.
I think first he's checking to make sure that pounce gets him within 1 of the serum canister.
And also clears
I
Angela.
think it does.
Yeah, that would.
Game of millimeters. Both these players very, very good at positioning.
Yep.
Something that if you're a newer player, you can really learn from. Every time you place a character, it matters.
Yep.
Where their bases are. Angela, especially because you can't go over her base. You can't move your template over it because of the living ribbons.
So
it all matters.
It's one of those things easy to forget. Utility Cookie comes in and says, if Valk goes down, then Morgan is in a pretty good spot. And I agree with that. Having 2 characters going into the injured side for turn 3 means he's got some options to start removing bodies.
Not just remove bodies, but also easier time contesting those objectives too.
Yep.
Yep.
They can overwhelm him. So what's your background, Norbs? Just while waiting for the boys to resolve this. Whereabouts as in wargaming? Like, is this your first wargame that you've played, or?
I started off when I was a little kid playing Dungeons and Dragons. That's how I got started in kind of the gaming hobby. Yeah, first edition, I might add.
Man.
Oh,
awesome.
I mean, talk about Unforgiving.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. Because we focused more on storytelling than trying to figure out the mechanics. Because
Valk rolling 1 defense. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
On the dodge. Does not have any power for Wakanda. She does.
She didn't then. She didn't. She had 0 power at the start of that.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome, Morgs. I mean, sorry, not Morgs. Norbs. Morgs and Norbs. 3 for Panther with a crit. Definitely. Ooh. Some rerolls coming in here. Ooh. Currently dazing Valkyrie, I think. 3.
Yeah, even if he rerolls 1 into a success.
Well, if he gets a success here, he'll live.
Oh, he gets it.
Ooh.
He was due for that. He was due for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Takes 1.
Yeah, it comes back around for sure.
Does get pushed out though.
Sweating.
Absolutely.
Sweating.
So did you do War Machine before this, Norbs, or anything
I
like
was
that?
doing actual historical wargaming, particularly Ancients was my bag for 10 years.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Never even heard of that. That sounds mad.
It was great because I loved ancient history, and so to be able to recreate these big battles on the tabletop was just outstanding to me. It was just, I couldn't believe it.
That's mad.
And then from there, moved into competitive War Machine, and then organizing in War Machine, and then finally over to MCP.
Pete Croft has come and said, Norbs will be typically humble here, but he basically kept War Machine alive in the EU for years with his event management. Having him in MCP is such a win. That's very humble of you, Norbs.
It's a very nice piece to say. All I could say, it was great doing it. I get as much out of doing the work from all the love from the community and getting to know people like yourselves, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
so totally worth it.
I appreciate it. We love it. Like, without you, this league isn't happening.
It's been good. I've been given a lot of opportunities, a lot of people behind the scenes as well, and they all pulled together and actually gave me the opportunity in the first place because I just came out of nowhere. I mean, it's interesting.
You did come out
The
of
MC. I did.
So one day it was
That's so
like,
funny.
it's no longer being run by him. We've had a hostile takeover. It's run by Dr. Norbert.
Yeah, I lucked out. It just right place, right time, and that's how it is sometimes. But I was just gonna say, it's so interesting how this community is so interesting to me because it's essentially feels like half War Machine, half Star Wars X-Wing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so those are very, very different temperaments. Not to say one's better
100%.
than the other. Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
I would say, yeah, very different for sure.
So
very
having
kind
them
of you
mixed
both.
together is, yeah, it's been very interesting to see how the two of them kind of mix together into this MCP arena.
I was shocked that it wasn't an absolute dumpster fire when they first joined together. I was shocked. I fully expected it just to be like, what is happening?
So yeah, it is good though, because it's been good for me in terms of stretching my muscles, and in terms of organizing and appreciating things differently. And because War Machine was done one certain way, X-Wing was done another way, MCP kind of feels like wants to be somewhere in between those two extremes. So
yeah, it is. Yeah.
So strategy wise here, just get back to the game real quick, is
right.
that looking at moving Panther's going to move up, right? So
for sure.
You're trying to put Okoye in a place where Panther can't pounce after getting free power.
Yep.
You're looking at putting her in a place where it's going to be tough for. I think that he will be able to attack that Okoye and push her back.
Yes. I possibly would have tried to double move Okoye to stop her from getting pushed.
That's a good question to ask Morgs after.
Yeah, just because Panther only has 1 power because of the brace. 4 blocks from Morgan, by the way.
Incredible.
Six coming out. Six
from Panther.
That's a pretty good roll.
Yeah.
Importantly, Okoye's alive though.
Casual.
And he can't follow up pounce either.
Yes, yeah, now it has worked out perfectly, right? So we don't need to bring this one up because now it's worked out ideally in that.
Well, Panther's going to reroll that die first to see if he can daze her, and he gets it.
Won't daze her though.
7-4.
Yep.
Oh, he doesn't get it. Sorry.
Yeah,
4,
so
5,
close.
7. Yeah, 7-3. Math.
So it's worked out in Morgs' favor here in that if he had positioned himself to not get pushed, he would have been pounced on and would have dazed.
Yep, exactly. And I think that's the calculated risk you take there.
Yes, yeah. I'd rather have the spider infected than hold. So you can bring Toad in now and just sit him on the serum canister with Panther, and just.
Well, his Okoye doesn't have the spider infected, right?
So she does not. Yeah, even better.
But that's smart. That's why you move Okoye up there.
Yeah, thanks.
But something Toad can do now is move up and incinerate Panther, which he does not like.
Or he has a push, I believe, available to him.
Does Toad push?
Yeah.
Wild push?
Yeah. Where is he? Wild push on his
Wild push on 4 dice.
Yeah.
So
so you can get Panther off it, which would be kind of cool. So I would hop and then attack and then attempt to do it. The incinerate would be nice, though. It would definitely help the Thanos killer in getting rid of that Panther if he's only got 2 defense dice.
For sure.
Having to think about it. As far as activations is concerned, this is the last activation. So points wise, where are we at?
It's gonna be they're both getting 4, I think.
Yeah, there's 1 spider on the floor. So
Yeah.
It's just a matter of whether Panther gets knocked off this point or not. Otherwise it'd be even up. So Pat stays ahead by 1 point potentially.
Yeah, which is that's what you want, right? Staying in the game. Pat goes to 10, Morgan going to 8.
Well, if you're Morgan, that's what you want. If you're Pat, it's not.
No, 100%.
Pat wants to be up by a lot more at this point.
Yeah, if ideally for Pat, you want to be starting to increase this gap. Although I will say that Pat sitting at 10 does leave him in striking distance of winning the game next turn.
Well, you've got that Wakanda Forever you're still holding on to.
Yes. Panther does have the power for it, or he won't have time to play it now, but you do have the next turn coming in for it.
Pat will have priority.
Yes. I think that's the hop. That is the hop. Yeah, this is going to be interesting next turn. Like I said, Pat, if he can secure 2 more of those spider infected and hold his 2 serum canisters, he wins. He's got to not be over the... I mean, that's easy enough. Just slide him a little bit to the left. Done. Right. Does he... Oh, he's contesting the serum canister from there. So you definitely go for a double attack with the tongue lash to try and push Panther out. I mean, best case, you roll the wild twice, right? No wild, but 2 crits. The old 4 dice attack spiking.
Yeah, maybe.
Quite high. 4. Panther is currently taking 1. No, taking none.
Taking none. It's Panther.
All is balanced as it should be.
But he can try. Morgan can try again now, though.
Yes.
And I mean, it's pretty good odds on 8 dice you get 1 wild. I mean, not guaranteed, but reasonable.
Yeah. Try again.
Oh yeah, easily.
There's a wild.
There it is. There's that wild.
Oh, currently 1's going through. None. There we go.
None.
Panther
Yeah, but that's not what you were.
Yeah.
It's almost better you didn't deal any damage to him and give him more
absolutely.
power. Just fishing for the wild.
Yeah, absolutely. So push Panther off. That's perfect for him. Keep that points parity. Slow Pat down.
Yep.
Toad proving to be a nuisance.
So if I'm Pat, I'm probably opening this next turn with... Do you open with Angela?
I think you open with Valk.
There's not very much in the way of terrain down there for Angela to start getting her wombo going. So I would probably look at the Valkyrie and possibly just running her away. Because he need, like I said, if he just secures 4, plus his 2 serums, that's it. The game's over. Morgan needs to... Oh no, it's only 8. Sorry, I thought Pat was going to 10.
Yeah, no, it's still close. It's still really close. I mean,
sweet.
I think you need to, if you're Pat, consider getting Valk out. Or med packing Valk. I mean, he's got that as well.
Yeah,
obviously.
there's a whole nother turn in this. I thought Pat was going to get 5 there, but he only got 3. Yeah. That was a big push. Or Philway just says Okoye picks up the spider infected and possibly walks up to that top serum canister.
Could do that too. Yeah.
Just give Morgan another decision. We're looking at spider infected rolls here. No bueno on
These
that
are big
one.
rolls too.
So I'm not sure who that was, but it didn't work. He's got 1 more roll to do, Pat. So it's either Valkyrie or Shuri here. This one is successful.
See who it is.
That will move somebody. Shuri.
Yeah,
nice.
Get her out of there. Make her move.
Yeah. Really limit how much you can push that top flank around. Now Morgan's got
it's a shame that I mean, it's I think Morgan would have had a really tough choice if Valk rolled it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
do you bring her in? But she's got the power. That's a success. So who is this? Panther. Go on, push him to Pat. Push him over. Send him to Valkyrie. No, get him out of there. Get yourself safe.
He can't go over Angela even on this, right? Or is it a push?
No, this is an advance.
Oh yeah, so he can't go over Angela.
Yeah,
on that.
It's funny. He's done in by his own ability.
Yeah.
That's actually quite funny, to be honest. Just double check Angela. Yeah, enemy character is advancing or climbing. It cannot place a movement tool overlapping this character space. Yep, so spider infected, even though Pat's the one doing it. And there you go.
Nothing there.
Utility cookie, all you've got on Magneto this turn, I 100% agree. I would be torching Magneto in the ground to win this entire flank. And this is what we're talking, like the Danger Room was talking about their swing turns and things like that. And for me, like a swing turn, the poster child is all you've got. Yeah, I think you see the big cards coming out. I think you see Morgan's all you've got. And I think we're going to see Wakanda Forever pop out this turn as well.
It's going to be a big turn.
I would definitely be med packing that Valkyrie.
So Pat does have the priority, so he'll get to set the tempo for the turn right now.
Here we go. Where does he start? I mean, Angela, this is the small downside to Angela, right? She is a 5-threat character. You need her to do big stuff. And there is situations where you're kind of looking at her going, this is very dicey. It's a size 2
even
thing
with
for her to throw.
Wakanda help. Ideally, you want Shuri around Angela, but she's across the map, right? Morgan's done a really good job separating the two.
Absolutely. I'm not sure how
I mean,
I can help you
something that
there,
he
Johan.
something that Pat could consider doing here legitimately is grabbing that citizen with Angela, and I know it feels bad, moving her up to that top objective, or moving her, double moving her away.
He can wedge her in there potentially to stop Panther from pushing her off as well.
I mean, a double move with Angela might get you. You can double move with these citizens, right?
Yeah.
A double move with Angela might get you to the top of the board.
Oh, it absolutely would. I'd probably just be looking to save that Valkyrie somehow. It's always funny. Like you can always pick a really top level, like a real top level player, when they don't use their priority to just try and blow the world up.
Right.
Because that is the temptation, right? It's got to be Angela. It's got to be this. It's got to be that. And I'm going to just try and nuke this entire side of the board.
Man, I think that there's a lot of advantage to getting Angela to grab that and moving back to that top secure.
Right. But Morgan's whole bottom flank here, Mystique, Magneto, Panther, are all at full health. Like Mystique is on her flip side, but they are all at
right. But that's
damage.
fine.
Yeah,
that's fine because if you're Pat, you take that, you now have the VP advantage.
Right. I agree. Yeah, send us to the top where the two threads are.
That being said, if Valk goes, that's a problem. So
yeah,
but you could medpack Valk on the way in.
True, and
but I think you're right. I think you might consider going with Valk, knowing she's going to die, and just trying to do what she can. But I agree that maybe moving Valk to the other side is the better move, like what the good doctor said earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at me, prescient.
Just trying to get a good angle for you guys here because Magneto's at the bottom, but they've also got a Koye at the very top of the map. So
yeah, I can see everything.
We're trying to capture it all, but it's so zoomed out. So Valk, I think Valk is the correct choice here.
Just keep her out. Well, if you remember in Morgan's last game, he had that situation with Toad where he ran Toad to the corner of the board and said, "Hey, you have to come off of your objectives in order to you have to come off of your objectives in order to get this secure from me." Yeah, the extracts, yeah.
I think
and since Pat's got the advantage, he could do that same sort of thing with Valk here.
Yes, which I think that play in particular is more brutal if it's a character that can hold multiple objectives.
Yeah.
No, being spider infected, and there being 1, 2, 3 of them are on the bottom side currently. You know, you can do it, but the option is there. I mean, Pat can change it by sending Valkyrie to the top of the board and change the shift of VPs to go to the top half where there's only two pointers. I mean, Morgan does have 2 long movers. Yeah, Medpack's a good play. I like that. He does have 2 long movers though, so he absolutely can give chase to Valkyrie.
Yeah.
And Pat's got to be careful he doesn't end up within 1 of something too, because Mystique could long move and blow stuff up.
Torch the world. I expect to see possibly Mystique attempt to remove Okoye here.
Oh, this is interesting.
Nice throw into trying to remove Mystique. I like this. Just remove some bodies. Yeah. Morgan possibly would do the same with trying to get rid of Okoye. No blocks. So that would be 3 damage to that stick.
That's brutal.
Was not a charge though. Was it a charge? No, it wasn't a charge because he spent
no, it couldn't be a charge. No, he spent the
power. I was looking at his empty power going, where did it go? It's on the med pack. So it's only a single attack with no power potentially going.
He can move, he could run away here too.
If he wants.
I don't.
He could run away and trigger Wakanda Forever if he wants to with Okoye to get rid of Mystique, but he might not.
I do not like this play. I feel like this is slightly suboptimal because you've committed to running away on Valkyrie, but you've only half committed to just put some damage on Mystique, which is very nice. I will give you that. But Morgan now has an option to respond.
This is big here. What happens next? Like, do you activate Mystique, run up and try and double tap Valk and then blow up that piece of terrain that she's one next to?
Yeah, exactly. Potentially Mystique can deal with either of these two. You can also just remove a Koye, just remove an activation.
You've got plenty of time there too. You could all you've got with Mags up here and just try to get rid of Angela as well, or just daze Angela off the rip.
Absolutely. Get rid of Angela. There's no field dressing on this other side. You could also attempt to remove dressing. Yeah, attempt to remove a Koye as well. If Mags does a big all you've got play here with a Panther field dressing, because he'll get it from the throw. Yeah, I know blow up's an action. Yeah. Yeah. I would be leaving Panther and Mystique to deal with Valkyrie, and I'd probably bring a Magneto in here.
What, Magneto on the point?
Yeah, you just move up, have a single attack into Angela, set yourself up with both sides, 2 pieces of terrain in range, and then all you've got, go again, 2 throws into Angela, just torture.
I think he's checking that Mystique play there as well.
Yep. So just with the Valkyrie play, it's good. It's nice. You know, that like that Mystique is, you know, red alert, right? She's on the verge of being removed from the board. But then you've gone to run away, and it's it's only a medium mover. Like, you haven't really accomplished much in the way of running here.
Just out of that.
So close. That one's in. Ooh, is it? No, it's out as well.
Also out.
Oh man.
So
talk
close.
About more millimeters. Yeah. So we're waiting on Morgan here, aren't we?
Yeah.
He's just checking ranges, trying to decide where he wants to go with it. So yeah, I think you move.
I would try and move so I can get at least 2 pieces of terrain in range.
Yeah.
Can he?
Yeah, it's size. He's got range 3 for his where he picks up terrain and throws it, so it's quite a large range.
Yeah. What you have to be careful for too, as well, is Angela being able to do that angelic assassin. You know, get rid of Mystique, get a free attack.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's why I'd be looking at trying to remove her. Because if he can remove that, even though they don't have any objectives on them currently, there is that spider infected sitting on the ground in front of them. And then both of his long movers can have a go at Valkyrie. So he can drag all these victory points back down to this bottom side of the board.
Crucial decision point here for Morgan.
Yeah, this one will take some time, I think. What do we go with? Personally, I'd be looking to get rid of that Okoye to remove the chance of a Wakanda Forever out of activation, you know.
Well, let's see. So Mystique is pretty badly hurt, but you said Panther and Magneto both fully healed, so I don't know.
Oh yeah. And if they're still in their untouched state, both of Angela and Okoye are not really that good at spending power, and both of them don't particularly have a good power spending attack. In this situation, Angela's just great against bigger characters, but all these guys here at size 2, so.
Magneto?
No, he does, but he can easily.
What size is he?
He's size 2.
Magneto's still size 2. He's just on a larger base.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you wouldn't be super upset about powering up either of these.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, agreed.
That's what I mean. Like, you're not. It doesn't really matter if you give Angela 10 power, right? Like, she's just going to use 2 on a throw and 2 on her angelic assassin if the option occurs, or she can do a Heaven's Wrath, but it's only a 6 dice strike for 3 power with the potential to get a double crit wild into a cleave.
Yeah, that cleave is hard to get.
It is, yeah. It's easier.
Less hard against all like Hulk, though.
Exactly, yeah. Smash Hulk. But any of those big size 3, size 4 characters, I think the odds go up a lot.
Yep.
Okay, so going with Mystique. Paying 1.
Picking that up.
I bet he moves, picks up. Is he just gonna move again?
Yeah, it's just gonna go sit on the point.
Okay.
Well, now he forces Pat to think. Does he devote somebody to go after Mystique?
Well, Mystique has stealth too. Don't forget. So you got to get pretty close to within 3 to actually. So that means you have to move Okoye up.
I think that Okoye is sitting in 3. Just eyeballing that, I reckon it'd be very close to be within 3.
Do you think? I don't know. That looks out.
Size 3 is.
I think Morgan was checking, but yeah.
Angela, come straight in. Interesting thing for this teleport from his strike, it won't happen if he kills her here.
Yeah.
Because she's removed.
He'll still get to Angelic Assassin, though.
Yes. Yeah.
Which gives him a move.
Just a free move, yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
So if that was Travis doing that, I guarantee you Mags would have moved in and done all you've got and tried to torch the world. And I actually fancy, with the 2 throws plus the 3 attacks into Angela, I would expect her to go down there and possibly...
this is a big roll now. He gets 1 attack on Mystique.
Yeah, that'll do it. Triple block. But, yeah, 5.
With alacrity.
Yep, 6. That will do it.
That's extreme prejudice.
So she will drop that, and she is removed. That's why I didn't like that as much.
Yeah.
Because
it's too obviously.
Yeah. Like, Angela is dicey, but 6 dice strike has got a consistency of its own.
Well, let's see what Morgan does with the rest of his turn here, though, because that cost Angela both her actions to do that. Good, took out Mystique, right? But now she's stuck on that point.
Yes. Does she Angelic Assassin just to
and outside of potential bodyguard range here as well?
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Just moving her.
Angelic Assassin. He's paid the 2 power.
Yeah.
Move, pick it up, and done. So that's there. I mean, Magneto. This is why I'm not as happy with this, because now even Magneto with a small move isn't going to be in range of that Angela, I don't think. So it's more difficult for this Magneto to, give him the slap back, give him the receipt.
What's this?
Just checking throwing options too with Angela. She might want to just get rid of a piece of terrain.
Get rid of
brilliant.
terrain. Yep.
Yeah,
sure.
Get it out.
Oh, look. I don't think she can do it.
Threw.
I think she can only use it once.
No. She threw one into the other.
Yes.
She threw one into the other.
Nice.
Brilliant. Brilliant patch.
That is a brilliant move.
He just goes off the beaten path so often like this.
Yeah. That's an excellent move, and that is now compounding into why I didn't like that Mystique play there.
Let's see how the rest of this turn plays out, though, for sure.
Bad to worse, yeah. Still not. I don't think he can win this turn. It's currently sitting on. Let's say best case he gets 3 infinities and 3 of them, so he's going to be on 14. So Morgan will have an additional turn to respond here. He just needs to make this turn just a little bit bigger. Definitely can probably still get a throw.
He's going after the soft underbelly there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have to get this. This one. You have to get this off of
Valk for sure.
Valk, this has to go.
Yeah, you got to swap it.
Morgan's Panther as well can give chase to that Angela as well. I think she's slightly quicker with her base size, but he can at least attempt to keep up with her. But if I was Pat,
Mags can all you've got as well, and then Panther can field dressing him back up. Don't forget, when all you've got, it just dazes you. It doesn't bring your health down, so Mags can just be back to full, no problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm Pat, I'm probably looking at, if Angela gets out this turn, you just double move it to the top right.
Yeah, MVP.
only a couple of 2-pointers up there. Morgs has to get this Valkyrie. He has to get that VP. And I would possibly look to remove Okoye ASAP as well, just to get that activation down. Importantly, Morgan still does not have priority, so Pat doing a great job there.
So Morgan is looking at putting his mags in a spot where he is in range 1 of that canister, and he can also throw both that top tanker and the bottom right green box thing at Valk.
Yes.
Double throws.
If Morgs didn't activate, if he didn't activate that Mystique, he possibly could have got priority flipped to him as well.
Maybe he doesn't want that though.
Oh, you do want that in the later turns with Magneto though.
I don't know, because they still have Wakanda Forever and Shuri pushes that you can do. And then you're going to lose all your secures that you're on.
And he does have Panther, who can do a last activation and push somebody off.
Yeah.
Do you just go for Okoye?
No, he's just abandoned the Magneto play.
Well,
not abandoned. He's got time for it. I mean, there's no rush.
Sure.
Yeah, you can go back.
There's no rush. It's good to check that now so you know for later. So maybe you go with Panther now. You pounce into Okoye and then do a mantle into her. Because what you don't want to do here is do that Magneto play, double throw something at Valk, be done, then Okoye go, run, and pick up that Spider Infected.
Yeah. Good call. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just removing the activation would be...
I would expect we see a pounce into mantle attack here.
Yep, there goes the pounce.
Unfortunately, Okoye is very tanky at this close range. She's good at dealing with.
Yeah. Hopefully, with a mantle, you can spike it high enough that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's what I find with Panther, is often these tanky characters, if you pop the mantle off, you can actually spike way higher than they can deal with anyway.
Well, let's see what the pounce gets first, right?
Yeah. And then you send that Panther, if he one-shots her here, right, between the pounce and the single attack, do you then move up to Angela and at least deny her from that infinity? Is that the roll?
I don't think so. No, I think he's just spawning the dice. Oof.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, big swing back.
Not bad.
Not bad. So,
Pat's
that's no damage on pounce. And because of the auto push here with Panther on Okoye.
Not yet, but there will be one, yes.
Well, after this attack, it's going to be really, really tough for him to daze Okoye here.
Well, he has to do it in one.
No, I think he might consider moving and attacking instead of just going after Okoye here.
Yeah. Do you go for Angela? Why would you do that?
Well,
I saw this. Go ahead.
The math isn't great to daze Okoye here.
I agree, yeah.
At all. The math is not great. So something you can consider with Panther is to set him up for next turn.
True.
Because that push doesn't really help you. So you move and you get your attack on Angela, whatever. Maybe you can get some. That sets you up to daze her next turn.
True. I would have
moved. And here you push her off the point as well.
Yes. I would have, though, moved to this top side where you can see my cursor, so that you can at least push her to the corner. Currently, she's getting pushed closer to that top side of the board where she can run. 3 versus 3. Yeah, Pat is switched on currently.
He just wants that point.
Yeah.
I think he just wants the push.
True. You would like to get some damage into her, though, just to start.
Yeah, it would be nice, right, in an ideal world. But here's the dice, like flopping back around. Yep. Now Pat's got really, really strong defenses over and over here.
Yeah. So look at this. So this Angela is now getting launched closer to supporting that top cast. Because don't forget, she has that pursuit range 4 attack where she can do the free advance and all these things. So she could potentially long move, attack into Toad, do a free advance, and then possibly look to start doing Angelic Assassin shenanigans and throwing the cargo container. And
but if she attacks Toad, he's going to be able to slippery away as well.
Yes, what I'm saying is but she will be on that point with a free attack, and she can throw something into Okoye as well. So next turn, I'd expect to see Angela disappear. That's why I wasn't. At least if Panther went to the top side, you can push that Angela into the corner and really force her to stay and fight. Just a couple of less than ideal. I mean, I'm not inside Morgan's head, and he definitely plays this game. He probably gets 100 games to my 1. Or something ridiculous like that. He easily gets at least 10 to 15 games to my 1. So I'm not sure what's going through his head here, but I felt like they were suboptimal. What do you boys think?
The Mystique one was troubling.
I don't think he's thinking for this turn. I think he's thinking for next turn. I really do.
Yeah.
I think that you know that you're going to have at least one more turn, like unless something devastating happens. And that's when you can maybe make a big play to switch things around for you.
Yeah, for sure. Norbs, what do you think?
Well, I think I don't. I definitely he's going to have another turn, and so he's thinking about that. I think that was clear right at the beginning, but I do try to understand what the point of the Mystique play was.
True that. Phil has come in and said Morgan has priority for next round, which is nice for an all you've got activation, which currently would be true. Yeah, as long as nothing else changes, Morgan will have priority.
Maybe that's why he let Mystique go down.
But but like at least do something with her on the way out. Instead, we've spread out. Like he's spread out everybody. You want everyone clumped around Magneto if you're gonna do what we've got. This, I'm not sure who this is.
Me neither.
3 dice from Morgan.
Feels like a throw.
Did someone throw something into somebody else? Is this a dodge? What's the?
So I'm saying, because I thought this is.
Oh, they might be checking dice for lag or something.
Yeah, I don't think. He doesn't have that's what I thought was weird. Morgan does not have priority because it's Pat's activation. Yeah, that's what I thought was weird.
The priority you said it before, Jaron.
Yeah, I was just reading Phil's thing and it just really confused me.
No, it's good. You called it because Mystique activated already and then got KO'd.
Yes.
And that's what preserved.
So he's gonna. It looks like Pat might try to get that Okoye in a spot where it blocks throws into Valkyrie.
Yeah, well, that position right there stops at least this size 3 throw being done. I think Magneto still might be able to double move. I don't think. One of you has the sniffles right now.
Sorry.
You're right, mate. I don't know if Pat will be able to get. I always forget what the legality is behind all of this. Like where you can. I know there was a change in how you could do it, and it's kind of a bit in the grey area for me. But Okoye is out of that 1, so that's important. That's 1 VP lost, which is good for Morgan. You're right, Philly. I'll forgive you, mate.
So yeah, Morgan definitely does not have priority so far next turn unless something changes.
Yeah, unless one of his 2 threats gets dazed, it's not going to happen.
Right.
Did you see? Go ahead.
Yeah, he's put Okoye in a place to protect Valk.
Yeah, I mean you can still just walk up and smash Okoye off the table. But it means that both of the spider infecteds for this board side are in threat of being sent to the top.
But they still have to roll to move back too, and he can't move both of them back.
That's true.
Move out,
Could get a bit lucky there and attempt to maybe Pat will roll hit on both of them and he can send them both back in.
Right, like that's the thing. Because Pat won't be able to get both of them out.
Yeah. Yeah, Utility Cookie comes in and says he needs to remove that spider. So I will go all in with Mags on Valkyrie this round. I agree. He needs to do something.
Do you think he does an all you've got turn here to get Okoye out and to drop that?
Yes. Yeah,
off
I
Valk?
think he has to.
Yeah.
That's -2 for Pat and only like a -1 for Morg. So I think he needs to, because he needs to stop Pat from you're at that point of the game now where you have the decision, right? Do you go for VPs or do you not deny VPs? And sometimes denying VPs is a stronger play because it might give you an additional turn to swing the game around.
And it removes another powerful Wakanda Forever too.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
And Morgan wants to try and activate Toad last if he can.
Yes, I agree. Toad's sitting there with great power, so if Panther even looks at Toad and doesn't one-shot him, Toad's gone, and then can come back in. So
yeah, and he can slippery pounce and double lick again to push him off.
Yeah. I mean, Graham says Panther can just go grab the spider on the ground if Valk dazes. Yes, but then Panther has now come down, which means Morgan's essentially won that top half of the map, which is good for him.
I mean, at that point, if he brings Panther down, you can bring Okoye up to that top point, and then move Hop with Toad and try to lick Shuri off of.
Exactly. Try and push Shuri around and capture 3 points at the top. So I don't think that's the ideal play there. I think Panther needs to stay at the top and start dealing with his 2 threat characters. So we're going with a throw into Okoye, and then probably the attack. And then you're looking at all you've got, so you could then do a move, try and get Valkyrie within range 2, and do one big attack with a size 3 throw, and just and get her onto her daze side.
And Magneto might even be able to pick that one up, depending.
I believe it was daze. You don't get it with daze.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but you're denying 2 victory points for 1 victory point for Pat. Would you do the attack here first, just to see if you need that? Because I'm pretty sure there'll be a position that Magneto could move into where he can throw both of those at Valkyrie. Possibly. Did take some notes for the other end of it for the interviews.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I always forget, and then I get to the end, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I had questions for you, but I can't remember what they were. Big attack from Magneto coming into Okoye, who has got 1 block, so potentially getting 1 shot here with the rerolls. Yes, currently being 1 shot. See if he gets a good reroll. Lives on 1.
Wow. Okoye is not.
Yeah, Pat has KO'd him. No, he should be on 1. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's okay, though, because now he's just going to throw that at Okoye.
It's just always nice to see if you have to do it or not.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Okoye does not count her blanks on the dodges.
This would be catastrophic for Morgan if Okoye lives through this.
Is this a size 2 or a size 1?
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
I hate to see it.
I would be all you've got in, and I would be just going all in here. No, he's not doing it.
This is absolutely brutal.
Whoa, no, don't like it. But I mean, it's only 1 victory point, and Morgan's currently equaling it by holding that serum canister. So it is going to be, they will tie up, but I would personally have preferred to see Valkyrie go down there. Okoye proving to be
all you've got
Morgan's,
for now.
Okoye proving to be Morgan's bane of his existence.
Brutal, man. Just absolutely brutal.
Yeah, tilt.
And we talked about Morgan had those hot, defense dice at the start, but Pat's had them hot in his back end here. Like I said, like the dice do come around. You just got to keep rolling them.
Got to keep in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if Pat just runs his Angel away next turn, it really limits just what that Magneto can then, the presence he can have on the game. That's why I was kind of keen on that, seeing that, it's a rough block. It's 1 damage though, because it's from Shuri, so you're not super upset about that.
Who's sitting on top of that terrain piece?
Toad.
That's Toad. Mm-hmm.
Toad gets to spend 2 to advance if he wants now, though.
Yes. Yeah. Is it advance any direction?
Yes, I think.
Strong. Yep. advances medium, so push, and then you probably advance medium, make sure you're outside of range of Panther. That was rough, Harper. Harp Daddy.
Harp Daddy.
Yeah. That was very rough. And this just a Koye. I mean, triple block, you know, that's just hot dice, but just so powerful as a 2-threat with martial artist.
Yeah, I would ask. I can't stay for the interviews after, but I would wonder why he didn't consider moving Mystique and then tapping and blowing up that that thing where Valk is. With Mystique.
Yeah. I just felt like that serum canister play
had to be an Angela consideration there
for sure. But like, you can always deal with that by attempting to daze her, right? With Magneto. Magneto comes in, or you've got boom, 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 try and blow up all 3 of them, right? Then gives you an extra turn with Mystique where she can grab it, run away, and she's ready to go. Yeah, I just thought that was the turn to pull the trigger. Toad advancing medium back. Just going to zoom in on the top half of the board because this bottom half is done for the turn. So I'll move up here.
The big comeback mechanic absolutely here is going to be that what happens on these spider infected rolls.
We're talking about 2 different things, Dan. Farmer's talking about moving and blowing it up, and I'm talking about using mags to daze everybody, and then Mystique is free to just double move and move up and hold the serum canister. Koye, a little bit dangerous bringing her in right now. She is on 1 health.
Yeah, what kind of work is she supposed to be doing?
Well, I think this is fine. If you can double move her onto that point in front there.
Yep.
And force a Wakanda Forever or force Panther to attack her instead.
For sure.
That does have utility. Now you risk Panther being able to pick up that infected and get you even further behind. Which is bad.
Yep.
So maybe you don't do that.
Well, I thought you'd hold Okoye till the end here, right? Because Panther activates next, which means that's when he has to Wakanda Forever. And you're then free to have Okoye move back onto the point and, you know, etc., etc. But bringing her in now brings her in threat range of getting Wakanda Forever.
All right. What's happening here?
Oh, sorry. Okoye doesn't have it. Toad has it. Never mind. So that's fine. You bring Okoye up here to contest the point and bodyguard Toad if possible.
True.
To hold on to that. And then you can...
She still gets a throw as well, so you might as well have a go at Shuri.
Yeah.
So if you can channel his inner Pat.
Okoye! Maybe it works for Morgan too.
4 blanks, here it is.
2 skulls, sad face. It's 2 damage through though. It's kind of nice. Yep, still 2 damage. That's not bad. That does put Shuri within that range for one of those 2 threats to potentially daze her next round. So you wouldn't be upset about that. Panther coming in. The other downside of moving Okoye here is I'm pretty sure she's in pounce range.
I don't think she is.
Don't forget Panther gets placed on the end of the template.
Yeah, I know. I still think he's out.
I don't know.
I think 2 plus his base gets him to touching Okoye's
Get Jaren
base.
to pull in the camera just a little.
Where's the quantum?
Where's the quantum camera?
That looks good. It looks good.
Look at all you've got from Okoye. Okay, cool.
Wow. Morgan pushing her to the limit.
Channeling his inner triple E to try and get these 2 threats to do more than they can. 2 into...
hit?
Yeah, 2 hits. Pat accidentally cleared his rolls, so...
Yeah.
He's got his single reroll. It was currently not, so 1 goes through. Might get it here. It's a bit risky.
No, I think he had a wild before then. I don't think any go through.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Hard to tell. Cleared him out. Big Okoye roll coming in now.
There's a big one, yeah.
Into a flop. Yeah, she's gone. That's a daze.
Yeah,
that's nice.
That's
2 VPs as well. Because Panther. Well, actually, Panther just goes and grabs that right and just sits on the point. It does protect.
Yeah, he has to now. Yeah, he's got to.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. Move it far enough away, hopefully, that Panther has to double move. Oh, yeah, no chance.
Yeah.
Panther's getting that.
Well, he might be able to. Yeah, you want to put it where he's got a double move.
Nah, because he'll get placed on the end. He'll cap that and move on to the point.
Yeah.
Well, what I was talking about is if you can get it far enough.
Maybe, or
possibly.
No.
Don't think he's close enough. Yep.
No, there's no reason to do this. You literally have to just draw a line from Black Panther along Shuri, and that's literally the longest distance away. There's no reason to be playing these games here. Like, what's the point of this?
Yeah. I think he's just trying to see if there's any way possibly to make Panther have to use both his actions, but you are 100% correct. You just put that thing as far forward as possible. I'm positive Panther can grab that in 1 move, but at least you are forcing him to do that and not get aggressive.
Yeah. We'll use the all you've got there on Okoye, so she's dazed.
Question for Norbs, 1 second.
Well, fun fact here, guys. He could field dressing Okoye too with Toad.
Yes, you can. It's true.
And then double move Toad up to contest that other one if you wanted.
Nice. Toad has not activated. You're right. Question for more Norbs from Travis. Is there ever going to be prize support one day for the league? Maybe if there's a monetary entry or something like that, like $1 or $5 or something.
Yeah, that's a good question because we've been, at least I've been in some talks for prize support, but it's hard to get companies to commit to it because of how global our community is.
Yeah.
And so they don't. The shipping is an issue, and then it's like, do I really gain anything from this advertising if it's somebody in Australia?
100%. They're not going to buy from them. Yeah.
Something that I would, we do in X-Wing is we do community alt arts for stuff, and alt art shipping is very cheap internationally. And obviously, you can't use them in official events. But I mean, there are no official events. So,
yeah, exactly. So really. You can do up alt art, Magnetos or something.
If you want to do like a med pack alt art or something that's really heavily used that you don't want someone to buy a pack for, you get some really good artists to do the back or something, and then that way you can ship them around the world for very cheap. We have my X-Wing podcast is a Patreon, and we ship alt arts every quarter. And we actually ship acrylic every quarter, and they fit in the small like international mailers, no problem.
Yeah, it's good to go.
Good idea. Good idea.
So possibly Travis, that's what that answer is. Throw some ideas at Norbs. You should do up your own alt art. All you've got, Travis.
There are a lot of really talented artists out there, so.
Absolutely, and I'd be cool having some of the alt art stuff because we haven't seen anybody like X-Wing all the time. You saw people
see alt arts
making alt arts for everything, ships, everything, but no one's made alt art pictures of the character cards yet, which would be kind of cool to see. Because I'm positive someone could do a really cool job of it.
They wouldn't fit in those mailers because they're the postcard size.
Yep.
But definitely tactics cards I could see being really cool. Like I would sport a TTS League tactics card for sure. So I think he might do the field dressing on Okoye.
I think that's a good play. Get the point, deny Panther from getting another
The other
point.
thing, I think he's got to count the VP though. Like, is it worth it if she's just going to get auto dazed next turn and lose you that point next turn? Maybe you just hop with him because you might be able to hop, lick, push Panther off, and then move.
That's true as well. Yeah, you could hop, have an attack, push him away, deny it.
And that saved you 2 health on Okoye next turn, so she's full up.
Yes, and also you're not sitting within 2 of Panther at the start of a turn.
Yeah.
Which is that danger zone, right?
So I think that might be a consideration, the hop lick move.
And it saves your field dressing as well for someone like Panther or Mags or something.
Right.
And you don't want this is the last activation, so there's no Wakanda forever.
This is the risky play though, right? Like you are relying on rolling a wild here. But
tough,
it's also risky putting Toad next to Panther at the start of a turn as well. So
well, you can hop lick, and if you don't get the result you want, just move back and take that point.
Yes. And still, you can still field dressing if you want to as well, if you get enough damage through, which I don't think is happening.
I think he just wants to see how it goes before he commits to a field dressing or commits to something else.
Yes.
Checking those angles on those pushes.
I don't think there'll be a turn after this next turn, so I agree with you in that you would want to keep Okoye with as much health as possible, but the downside is that she's now on her injured side. But so is Shuri, so there is that. So they're kind of equaling on the top side here.
I want to give, I mean, you got to give Morgan a lot of credit for, you know, these are probably the two best two costers in the game, but he's keeping 7 threat, you know, sort of in check with 4. Which is what those are the sorts of things you want to look for. Unfortunately, the bottom part of the board is not going in his favor.
No, 100%. He has got 10 threat down there. Well, 13 if you count a Mystique versus 5, 7, 11. So he's definitely.
But if next round is the final round, right?
Yep.
Morgan can knock Okoye out immediately, unless she moves, right? Valk also not in a great spot. She's got to double move to a spot where even Okoye is a threat to her.
Just the positioning for Pat currently is that I would assume that my Angela is not going to even, like, Panther can't. I don't see Panther one-shotting her, right? He's got to move and attack. It's not going to happen. So your Angela is safe. I don't think there's any reason to get rid of Okoye except for Wakanda Forever because she's on her injured side. So Magneto can just stand there and ignore her and hold the point. You definitely need to get Valkyrie because you do not want her getting away. And I think that's the one he can stop. So if I was Pat, I would be activating first on Valkyrie and leaving.
I agree.
Because that's the one that Morgan actually has a chance at stopping, whereas Angela, she's gone.
I also think what's really, really important to note here is that a couple key points in the game, like him not getting Okoye there and him not getting Valk earlier when she was off on 1 were 2 very big swings in the game against Morgan. But in Morgan's favor, he had a couple blocks, really good blocks early in the game too.
It looks like we've just field dressing Okoye, but she's had 2 wounds removed.
Well, she was at 3, and then she all you gotted. And then you heal one for field dressing.
Correct. So easy to forget that you see a dazed token, you assume that they're already tapped out.
Yeah, right. And that's how the clever way to use field dressing, actually. It's not when they're tapped out.
Oh, it's all you've got. I've seen Reith, Morgan's sparring partner, local sparring partner. He loves playing Cabal, and he very much enjoys, all you've got in MODOK on the 2nd or 3rd turn, and then immediately field dressing him in, and then popping in a Cosmic Invigoration just to get that triple MODOK activation.
So what he did there was get himself a point and deny a point to Pat.
Nice.
On that.
I like this. This was a consistent play, but it is dangerous in that Toad is now next to Panther.
Yeah, he's in the danger zone. But he's got slippery.
I don't think Panther. Exactly, and I don't think Panther's the first activation here. I think our Valkyrie will be. So 12 to 11, Pat's and Morgan. So definitely in it.
No, this is still a very, very close game.
Yes.
Like, no doubt about it.
So Pat currently has, it's still 2-2 for 3 for Pat. But the problem is Morgan is currently locking down these infinity formulas. So if Morgan can continue to do that, that's good for him. Because currently Morgan, this round in the current game state, Morgan will go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 victory points. So Morgan will go to 17. And current board state, Pat will go to 12, 13, 14, 15. So definitely final turn. Currently Morgan, nothing changes, Morgan wins.
Get over there, right? Angela's got to make moves if she can. And so it really just, I think it's going to come down to...
Who was that on? Angela.
Was it Angela?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you send it Personally, I would move her straight at Panther because I would just have absolute faith in my Panther to survive that.
Morgan's the safe player, man.
It is.
He's always been.
If you move her straight there, it's also out of range of any terrain she can throw while she's next to anything. So you just double downing on it. So she has to do it with attacks, and I don't think she can do it with attacks in the Panther.
Well, we might be looking at what the furthest point from getting able to contest is as well.
True, but one long move and she's on that serum canister anyway. And if
I mean, the one on the other side of the board where Okoye is.
True. But if you bring her towards Panther, you are bringing her closer to Magneto for whatever reason that might come up.
Yeah.
Skull, that would be probably, if it continues the way he's been doing it, that would have been Valkyrie, and this will be Panther. Panther not moving as well. Okay. Yeah. Morgan, let's have a look. Toad and his Panther. Probably starting with his Panther.
Nothing?
Nothing? And that one is moving. Whoever that is, probably Toad.
I mean,
that's Panther.
Not bad. Oh, that one's Panther.
Ooh. Yeah, right. Start at the top. Yeah, nice move by Pat. Just get that Panther out of there.
What's so Pat still has Wakanda Forever, right?
Yes.
Could be a turn to use this to try and nuke Toad.
Yep. 100%. You could do Valkyrie activation first, double move, and then charge, and then Wakanda Forever off of that.
Yeah. Though Toad, here's the thing about that, he's got that slippery.
If he doesn't one-shot him, Toad will advance medium, but then Shuri can still possibly have a go at him. So depending how hard he gets hit.
Here we go.
Oh, man.
Does Valkyrie charge?
Good move. I would charge. You got Wakanda Forever to back it up, so I'd look at a charge, see if you can get maybe 2 damage, 3 damage into him, so Shuri's set up to go him.
Yeah.
I do not rate Morgan's chances here. Wait, what's going on here?
It's just throwing Toad, doing an auto damage into him.
Cool. Nice.
Maybe
that's good.
Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, I mean, that's set up so Shuri can't push him away, but Panther, maybe he's not going to do it. Activated tick.
He might
moving
not.
on. All right, he's holding on to it.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
What do
He
you
doesn't
do
want
here?
him to run away.
True. I mean, you'd activate Toad, right? Because you do not want to risk Angela coming to the top of the board.
But what do you do with Toad?
Well, do you go Okoye? Right. Okoye, she's not holding a spider, so her purpose is to stay on point.
Yeah, but Toad needs to get out of there, right?
True. I mean,
yeah, he's holding that objective.
What's the odds of Okoye just removing Shuri from the game?
Low. But
well, he did it in 3 attacks before.
He used his all you've got in order to do it. So.
I know, but he did 3 attacks for it. So, and one of them was a flop. So he really got it in 2. But I think
he's got to get Toad out of there. So I think he's just looking at all of his options.
I am nervous for Okoye's life here because a double move from Angela is probably in throw range, or Panther pounce double attack.
Oh, it's bad for Morgan right now. Yeah. Like, it's not great.
I mean, no doubt his Panther and his Magneto are going to unce Okoye down the bottom.
Well, he's seeing like if he can even get into a spot where he can throw stuff and everything.
It's like a Limp Bizkit song. He's going to break stuff.
Ooh, man. I think Pat's in the hot seat here. If he can just keep going the way he's going, he will just glide into the thing.
I know you say in the hot seat. That's a good thing, because in the U.S., that's a bad thing. Like a coach is on the hot seat, they're about to get fired.
Yeah, it's a good thing down there.
That's a bad thing up here.
So what do you think? The idea is Pat to clear the top of the board, right?
Yes, clear the top of the board. Both of Morgan's bottom characters have got nothing they can do to respond to it.
Yep.
Nor can they, because they need to hold their bottom points. So Morgan will get 3 and go to 15. Pat will get top of the board, which is 2 plus 1. Another additional. He'll get 4
if he
of the
gets
spiders.
toads,
4 of the he'll
that'll
get
be
6. So he'll go to 17.
yeah.
So Toad leaving lets Pat go to 16 currently. Still less than ideal. Is it 1, 2, 3,
I mean, Toad's
4,
always
5?
on his way out too. I think Toad's gonna try and punch someone on the way out, either drop an incinerate onto Valk or onto someone else, and then just, or no, you'd have to spend for that. So I think he's gonna lick someone off to start, and then hop pounce.
I agree. He needs to probably get aggressive potentially.
I think you could do it on Valk, and then you hop pounce away, and you hope that Okoye can kill Shuri, and then Panther can't do both. I mean, Panther could run up and,
so if I'm Pat and I leave right now, I know I've won the game.
Leave? What do you mean?
So
live.
Live. So no, leave as in I take my Angela to the top of that board, and then I've got a Shuri and Panther activation to kill an Okoye, or you just walk Panther onto that point because Okoye. Oh no, Okoye is still healthy. Pat's going to 16. Morgan's going to 15. Oh no, Morgan will go to 16 as well. Actually,
yeah, it'd be tied up.
It'd be tied up. So nice. So Pat has to actually go for this. He can secure it, but then wouldn't he just win the turn after?
Well,
no,
it depends if
4-4 again. No, it'd be 5-4. Okay. So if it ties up and Pat decides to just not commit and just takes his Angel at the top, then it will go to 16-16, and then the turn after will be Morgan 20, Pat 21. Which I'd probably think about playing those odds, to be honest. It's a little bit boring, but it's fairly consistent.
Well, it gives you a whole nother turn to make something happen.
True.
Well,
or you just go for it this round. He can daze that Toad. And he does still have a Koye down the bottom who can move and attack, and then Wakanda Forever attack. So he has a chance. If he just gets Toad to drop it, that's it. But taking Panther to do that right now means that he'll be missing out on his Okoye killer.
Yeah, why isn't he using Okoye now first?
Well, because that's a size 3 piece of terrain, so Toad is technically out of line of sight. Even if Okoye moves like directly down, I think it probably won't be in 4.
Curious why he did. I am curious why he did Panther first instead of Okoye, though. You're right, Norbert. It's interesting.
True.
I think he might be doing this to. I think he's doing this to push Toad.
Push him out.
Okoye can't hit him next.
Yeah, probably. But she's not gonna live.
Pounce, and the Pounce has got 1 block, so Toad takes another 2.
Well, he can't slippery off that either.
No, but it's out of line of sight though currently. So I mean, Okoye can always double move and Wakanda Forever. Here comes a Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
He's got to get
perfect sense.
1 block versus 3. So that will be Toad going down.
Yep.
Wow. Wakanda Forever late game.
There you go. Oh, well, Wakanda Forever for me is just like...
It's the best tactics
It has to be the best tactics card in the game.
Yeah.
Like, Guardians have like a pseudo, like mini Wakanda Forever in their Lovable Misfits, which has definitely brought them up in my books, but it's just so powerful.
Interesting he's putting it there.
Yeah, it's done with Koye to grab it.
Yeah, but it's safe from Magneto, isn't it?
Yeah, Magneto's got no chance of getting there. And it also forces Morgan's activation to possibly be a Magneto activation to get rid of Koye.
Well, yeah, he has to.
Yep, here comes Magneto. 3 currently. Hang on, it's 4.
Look at Okoye rolling maybe 5.
That's 4. Why is Okoye rolled 4 blocks? Oh, sorry, this is Okoye's attack. This is the end of
Yeah, he's attacking Magneto.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I forgot that he paid the power on the rest of them.
Less good.
Imagine if that was her block.
I was about to say, like, if that were him. Yeah.
Mags takes 1. Sure. Yep. Now we're going into Shuri into Okoye. Probably will get the single point of damage. 3 versus 3. Yep. Single point of damage goes through.
It's amazing how good Wakanda Forever is.
Oh, it's unbelievable, man. Gives a small argument for you? All right. Can't push her. I don't think you just push her straight back. This is one of the reasons I don't play Shuri on Tabletop Simulator anymore. Doing this push every turn is so annoying.
You mean to physically try
to do it? Like it's
go.
just so frustrating trying to get it to go how you want it to. Right. I don't think she can squeeze through that gap, so she's got to push into that.
Oh.
Again,
No.
Angela, I'm pretty sure with a long move, we'll be able to throw something into her. So currently, it's going to be 16 to Pat, and I would think Morgan is only going to go to 15. There you go, Travis and Mazane. If you're watching this, you've seen Pat's playstyle. It's very, very consistent, which we already knew that. Him and Morgan, Travis and I like to joke, are the 2 robots in the league.
Yes, this is right.
I do this.
Very methodical players.
They can out-robot each other.
It just comes down, well, the dice always play a role.
For sure, yeah.
You try to minimize it, but I mean that's what it comes down to when you have these high-level players who both play very methodically. And they minimize the dice influence, but nonetheless, at some point the dice can help one.
Yeah, that Okoye hanging around for a lot longer than she has any business to. So I mean, if you're Morgan, you have to stop Okoye from grabbing that point, that objective. So that's 1. That has to stop. But again, he's still losing out.
Sorry, I saw that coming. They're trying to figure out whether she can squeeze past there or not.
I don't think so. Let's zoom in and have a look.
It looks good to me, to be honest.
Maybe.
Woohoo! See, there's a tiny bit of air on the left side of Okoye. Yep. Right side of
but if you look back a smidge, maybe once she's back a little bit, no? It's frustrating. This is what I'm talking about with Shuri. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I can see that.
You need a permanent judge on station.
But that looks good.
But they're allowing it. That is...
They're allowing it.
There's a bit of danger
She'll allow
there.
it!
If it passes, Angela could possibly long move there and even have a throw at Okoye. Sorry, her range 4 attack, is it?
Possibly.
Range 4? Yeah. 5 dice energy into Okoye, range 4. Outside of martial artist, I'd rate my chances there to do a single point of damage.
So let's look at what's something that Morgan could do to potentially try to get a big swing back in his favor here. Could he long? I don't think that movement with Panther really hurt him, but
it really did.
Yeah, he could. I was wondering if there's any way he could get Panther into Angela to get her down to knock that point off.
Well, yeah, he possibly could pounce and hit her. Depending on the distance.
How much power is Panther?
One-shotting her is really hard with her defense and with Mantle. Oh, he can't even reroll against her.
You could do a 7 dice energy into her, but it's just absolutely dicey. To be honest, man, I've actually been racking my brain for the past 5 minutes looking at what Morgan can do to win, and I actually don't see an option available.
Yeah, I don't see it now. I think he's snookered.
Honestly, don't see it.
The question you need to write down on your little pad there is when did this change?
I felt like it changed with the Mystique move, but I will ask him. Honestly, I thought from the Mystique move onwards, it felt downhill.
Yes, I agree. I don't know why though, because
earlier than that. I think not dazing Valkyrie.
Yes,
on that one attack.
Yes,
was
that too.
The flipping point in the game.
I'll ask both players that. I probably would activate Okoye here and look to try and get onto that serum canister in such a way that I possibly am protected from the Angela throw. but then the other Okoye is going to steal this point. I think Magneto could possibly still throw the range 3 into and then hopefully move back. I'd be possibly looking at that. No, Michael. So because all you've got it, she only dazed with 3 wounds on her. So when she gets field dressings, you remove a wound, she goes to 2. Just because you're dazed doesn't mean that you take the full amount of your health and damage. Yeah, get rid of Shuri, but Valkyrie's on the point. Valkyrie is on the point, Travis, so.
Which is why earlier I was thinking maybe you just use Toad to try and get rid of Valk first.
Yeah, for sure.
And then like maybe just double attack with him knowing he's going to potentially die.
Yes.
With a Wakanda Forever instead of running. Just try to... I mean, I think that's a bit of the difference between Morgan and Travis, right? Travis would just roll more dice.
He'd just go, I am behind. I need to now go for the low percentage, high risk play to potentially get myself back in the cockpit of this game. Yeah, Stevie Gonzalez, Mr. Producer, has come in himself and said, I agree with Ryan. The Asteroid M play was good. It just didn't work out. There was a couple of big plays that did not work out for Morgan. The dazing of Valkyrie not occurring. Okoye not being removed here to set up for the potential all you've got throw into Valkyrie. But again, the all you've got from Okoye was really nice last round, but I felt it didn't actually swing anything in Morgan's direction. It was a small gain.
Jacob is saying, so was this game won by hired muscle? It definitely helped. And I don't think it was won or lost by, lots of decision points, but hired muscle influences the entire way that Morgan sets up for the game. And it means that he's down round 1. And he's been having to climb in that hole for for everything. That, the entirety of your massive game strategy revolves around the higher muscle play.
Yes. Travis, there is 3 spiders on Pat's side, plus his Valkyrie is holding this top serum canister. So that's 5. Zoom in.
Well, we need a god roll by Okoye.
Yeah. He does need to protect his Okoye from Angela. And I think that Magneto can still catch the other Okoye. Oh, I won't do
appropriate.
It.
Oh, no.
Appropriate.
I mean, you might get one through here, but that's about it. Oi.
So sad.
Oh, dear.
Morgan needs to try a season with no Okoye.
Yeah, just get her out of his roster. Maybe that's his jinx. All right. So if you're Pat, you just activate your Okoye, right? Double move, grab that point, grab that spider.
Yep, here it comes.
Yeah, Travis, it is 4, but I'm assuming that Angela possibly is going to go for another one.
Without hired muscle, he's not able to get Valkyrie to get that middle extract and get onto this. Well, he didn't get onto the serum, but I think that was just a miss.
Sorry, Travis, I'm counting about Okoye grabbing this spider virus. And what are you saying, Farmer?
I'm saying that hired muscle is big because without it, Valk needs to move to the very center of the board, or someone needs to get to the very center of the board
to get
that middle extract.
Yeah. And then
it exposes them to so many things that without hired muscle, that they would, with hired muscle, they can just move up and, be safe from so many different attacks.
Yes. The only thing, like, he does have Angela, so he could have just put Angela in the middle of the board and grabbed the middle one and moved back. But then there's still an opportunity with deployment to stop deception there. But if he doesn't, you could still move Mystique up to the middle of the board and deception Angela back out. But again, just
Okoye needs a activation marker.
Yes, please.
Maybe
Judge
Darren's listening. At least Darren will note it.
Yeah. Travis is saying Morgs needs to use Pantheon Angela here. I think yes is the answer, because this can't change, right? This mags into Okoye can't change. I personally would. I agree with you, Travis, to go for Angela and just run the risk. See what you can do. You might one shot her, you might not, but currently has to do something. Yeah, 100%, Travis. I'm pretty sure Angela could actually walk to that serum canister that Magneto's walking away from currently, so that's what I'd be doing with Pat.
Slow the game down at this point.
I'd be going for the win. That Angela could double move to this serum canister that Magneto just moved off of.
Yeah.
So you just take that. You don't even need to bother contesting Okoye.
Well, I mean, yes and no. If he moves, I think Morgan goes last still. So if Angela moves that way, then Panther can just contest it.
Yeah, true.
He's throwing that into Okoye. Let's see if it works.
Is she invulnerable to damage still? It is a size 3 piece of terrain, so currently she is automatically dead unless she gets 3 blocks and 1 is crit.
She's the crits. She do like 2 crits into 2 blocks or something.
Yep. Still has a reroll, so I'm actually semi-nervous for this for Morgan.
I mean, if she gets it, what do you do with your Morgan? You just put your hands in the air like, yeah, well, that was it.
That's good. Oh, there's the tick mark. Good.
Thank you. Thank you, Darren. I don't think he's going to get one more round, Trav. Travis convinced Morgan's going to get one more round. I'm not seeing it, personally. I see Pat going to 16 this round, or if Morgan makes it to 16, Pat will be in front of him. And if there is an additional round, I don't see how Morgan can get 4 spiders off of Pat.
It's all about whether Morgan's Okoye survives over and over here, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, his Magneto's in a great spot, right? If there is an additional round, Magneto is there with a big piece of terrain. You know, he's going to cap this spider virus, so that's good. Let's change to some of the math. So Morgan is going to get currently 1, 2, 3, 4 for him. So he goes to 16, and Pat will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So Pat's currently behind. Angela will need to. Ooh. Semi working out. Not bad.
Panther. He might even consider throwing that in the Panther there too, if he's got the power for it.
Yeah. He does have the power for it. Save it for next round where you can just try and do it. Angela goes top of the board, right? Yeah. Here we go. If he can get Okoye here, that's big.
I mean, that's game winning, I think.
Yeah.
He gets
still got an Angela. Don't forget you still got Shuri activation to come as well. No, Shuri's done. No, she will kind of rev it. She will kind of rev it, yeah. I fancy, like, Okoye is going to take a single point of damage. Look at that. Look at that movement.
Yeah.
It's just gross. And this is what I was saying. Like, you just consider looking at putting tech in your list for Angela, like someone like Loki or Corvus to just get through that annoying amount of defense where you can't mod your dice against her.
So we need crits.
Dead. Oh no, he doesn't have a reroll here. Takes 1.
Doesn't have the extra. That was a size 3, correct? Or was that size 2?
Size 2.
Oh, so he blocks it all.
No, he only got 2 blocks there.
No, we got 3, right?
No, no, it's a hit.
Oh, never mind. That hit was.
That's my bad. I was zooming for you boys. So I think that's game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's game.
Yeah.
I don't think the math is. He's got Pat's getting 5 to 16, and Morgan's getting. Well, Morgan can get to 16 as well, right? So they're tied.
Is it? So 2 serum canisters for Pat, and 3 points. It's 5 to 16. Yeah.
5.
And then Morgan will get.
Morgan will have 2.
3. Only 3.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
Oh, 15. Right. Okay.
You're right.
15.
You're right.
That's okay. You help each other with the maths.
That's it. We get through it. Angela just so fast. Panthers, this is crazy part, right? Angela, small heads, like a decent head start actually, and this is why I wanted Angela to I would like him pushing Angela towards Panther, because then he had the option to just activate Panther, double attack, attempt to get up.
Panther getting pushed there was brutal. Hurts him a lot.
Yeah, that was no good.
Yeah, Panther sitting at 8 power there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's enough to do some one big energy attack.
One big dice boost to maybe daze Angela if you can get a good energy attack in.
Haha, that's where you're wrong, Dan. Dan, I can guarantee you that both Pat and Morgan have been doing it again. And I personally always do it. And Palmer, do you add up VPs in the middle of the game? I know Travis does it. Do you add up, if you're playing a game, do you add up your VPs in the middle of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Travis did it last week. I know you're joking.
Sure.
I know he's joking, but definitely people do it.
Well, why wouldn't you? I don't understand.
Because he says napkin math never works out.
Oh. These days, if when it comes to hard muscle plays, for instance, that's the whole point, is that you try to hold on to a point, just say 1 point ahead until you win.
Yep. That's why it needs to be gone. So I think it's GG.
Yeah, I think Pat will
chatting about it.
16, right here.
Wow, amazing.
Tight match.
Very, very tight match.
Very tight match.
Yeah.
Some crazy, explosive start for Morgan, and then some crucial breakdowns for him.
He lost some momentum in that turn 3. Just all momentum went out from there.
Wow. 4 point difference for Morgan.
His runs are continuing to be stifled in part by
Boye and Valkyrie.
Wow.
Oh. Brutal. We'll just give them a couple minutes to just do their own little debrief between each other, and then we'll dive across.
Well, I gotta go, boys.
Mate. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for letting me commentate with this one, and great work all around. Great chatting with you, Norbs.
Yeah, likewise. I hope we can do more together.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll be on the podcast. We'll do a season 4 wrap up. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Great.
That'd be cool.
Awesome.
All right. See you, fellas.
See ya. Bye.
So we just give another minute, Norbs, and then we can both jump across if you want.
Oh yeah, good idea.
And Pat. Pat's just playing the strength, right? I mean, Australia's been on Wakanda now forever, and we consistently
that's the thing, right?
They are the strongest faction. They're so consistent. None of their pushes or anything like that really needs damage to happen. It just happens. You can spike your damage up whenever you need to between Shuri and Panther. Koye, just ridiculous 2-pointer. And the fact that she's in affiliation as well is even better, because now you're not having to chock her onto the end of it. You get her. So strong.
Yeah, it is kind of funny how he's taken. We all thought he was going to go A-Force, but he's taken the thing that Australians are known for and played it against him.
And Wakanda, I think, is the better pick into Brotherhood. It's, you know what was crazy about this game? Priority never got swapped once.
Yeah, Pat played that really well.
Yeah, just held priority, gives him options all times. Let's dive across, and we'll go chat to him.
Cool, me too.
Hey, gents, how's it going?
Hello,
mate.
Good game. 16-15. That is wild.
Yep. Yeah, what a game.
We'll start with Pat. Pat, one thing I just want to say is really impressed that you never gave up priority once. That was really impressive. Usually it's one of those things that swaps back and forth. So well done there.
Thank you. It took a lot of discipline. There was a lot of times I really wanted to, but I always thought, no, it's going to be worth it. And I think it paid off.
Yeah, it absolutely did. With your affiliation choice, a lot of people, Norbs was just saying when we were just talking while you guys were doing your own debrief, a lot of people had you picked to go for A-Force. What did you go for Wakanda for?
So I like A-Force a lot, and I would have happily played them. And indeed, I might have had Morgan 1 priority and gone for a higher threat level, because I can't do a 19 threat Wakandan team that I like. But the main reason is Morgs has all you've got with Magneto, with Asteroid M. And the combination of that character and those two cards mean that at any point in the game, he can just play them and kill She-Hulk.
True that.
Asteroid M, just going off Toad or Mystique, is incredibly reliable. You can do it even from turn 1 with Brotherhood's Power Generation or Advanced R&D. And 4/6 dice reroll everything plus throws. I mean, even if She-Hulk is on full health, she has a good chance of dying. And if you just wait until, say, turn 3 and she's taken a bit of chip damage, then she just gets annihilated. And I think that is... The problem is that threat is so high that it then curtails everything I can do with She-Hulk. I have to build my game plan to protect her, and I'm ceding points as I do that. Not only that, but it means I can't do special delivery, because as soon as I special delivery into his lines, Magneto appears and kills me.
Surprise, yeah.
so I think all you've got Magneto, Asteroid M just shuts down She-Hulk completely.
Absolutely. Morgan, Okoye continuing to be the bane of your existence. I think that's going to be a big internet meme going on right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I know. There's literally speechless. I was speechless when I saw it happening again, and was just sitting there like, not like this. Really loved your choice of Infinity formulas. What did you discard, or it didn't matter? You were just hoping not to discard the Infinity formulas here.
Oh, I think you know what I discarded actually. Look, I think Infinity. I had myself as probably losing this game very close, very similar to how it actually played out. Regardless of the combos, the only if I had one priority, I had some bold options to go with Senators perhaps, but I knew Pat was going to go for the Spiders if he won priority, because as we saw, Hyde muscle or not, I mean, I think Hyde, regardless, he's going to get 3 of them.
Yep.
And it's from there, it's a real uphill battle for me to somehow find a way to push back, especially when he's playing Wakanda. Like, I think I was always going to play Wakanda because of Angela scaling so nicely. I think this is, Angela's just such a strong character on the points that he would be mad not to play her. So I knew he was going to be a point up on the extracts. And my concern of doing Gamma is that he could just still play it at 17, and his 17 Wakanda, I think, is stronger than my 17 on Gamma. So I didn't want to do
so. Absolutely.
So I didn't want to. Yeah, so Gamma was out, and then I looked at Demons. Now the problem with Demons is Pat can then choose 19, and whilst he says Magneto, and he's right, is pretty scary into She-Hulk. He's got a really nice A-Force beat him up 19, where it becomes more of a dice game. And so I thought my best bet was to try and split so he can't concentrate everyone on Magneto and potentially MODOK. Split him up and try and just get a bit of dice luck. I thought I played reasonably tightly, and I needed a few things to go my way, I think, to win the game. I knew that going into it, that I think I was going to lose a tight one unless I got some real spikes. And I think I got a little bit optimistic when Mystique spiked and stayed alive to Angela. But I thought really that the turning point of the game, there was 2. I think the first turning point was when I failed to daze Valkyrie with Panther's Mantle and a pounce. That was huge. That was massive. I think that was a real turning point for me to go in Pat's favour. And then the other one, which I think it turned it back to make it a somewhat of a game, was when Okoye managed to daze Shuri.
Yes.
So that were the 2 sort of critical points for me. There was a bunch of stuff that could have happened in between, but one little bit went my way to keep me in it and give me a small chance. But the other one really, I think, cost me the ability to find a path to victory, which was failing to daze Valkyrie and get that sort of 2-point swing.
Absolutely. You both had 2 turns of hot dice. Yours were turn 1 and turn 2, and Pat's were turn 3 and turn 4. His defense dice were unbelievable in that end. You actually just answered my next question, but Pat, when did you feel like the momentum shifted to you? Like, when did it actually feel like this feels like I'm now swinging in my direction?
I felt like I had the momentum early because of getting priority, getting the crisis combination I wanted, and with hired muscle, getting the 3 points safely, right? It just let me not expose anyone to danger. And then we're in this standoff where I'm 1 point up and we're very far away from each other.
Yep.
And at that point, I'm happy, right? Because Morgan has to spend activations and take risks in order to equalize. But then there were a couple of key things that he did nicely to keep swinging things back in his direction. So every time I felt like I was in control, it quickly fell away. And I agree with Morgan. It came down to all of the stuff with Mystique early had me worried. The fact she survived Angela was very nerve-wracking. And had she also survived Valkyrie, then that's, I forget the point swing there, but that's probably enough to change the outcome of the game, right?
Yep. Yeah. It would have. Yeah.
So those two key activations were very, very important. And then I agree. I felt like I was in good control until Okoye did the all you've got into Shuri and took her out. And then I thought, okay, I've really got to scramble, and every point has to count so that I can get to 16.
Absolutely.
And it worked out just, but it could have gone either way, right? There's so many close calls in that situation where 1 point makes all the difference.
Yeah, exactly. Like Okoye lives at the end there, or maybe Angela doesn't have enough movement and you equal up 16-16. Australians proving to have a love of all you've got and 2-pointers, which I think is actually quite funny. Yeah, exactly. Norbs, do you have any questions at all, mate?
Yeah, it was about the Mystique play. Morgan, when you moved her, when she was heavily wounded, and you moved her with the spider to your side, what was going on in the thinking? Go ahead.
That's a great question, and I'm not sure. I'll be interested to get Pat's thoughts on this one. But what was going through my head is I think I had 2 lines of play. My first that I was toying with was double move Magneto and try 2 throws into Okoye to daze her. My concern with that is Magneto's then he's not getting value out of his attacks, and he's sitting not on a secure. So I think, and also Angela's right next, a full party into Magneto, which 6 defense dice is nice, but it's not reliable, and he's got some Wakandan rerolls. So that's pretty frightening. And worst case for me is I end up with a dazed Magneto, and then Angela's got the spider. So I could see that happening, and that made me concerned about that. So my other line of play was the Mystique. I thought, well, one way or another, she's going to go down this turn. So I was weighing up whether I want to try and all you've got into his Valkyrie, but that didn't really gain me much because he would just go and hoover up the cube with Angela. The next line of play, I was thinking, well, if I pick up the cube or the spider infected with Mystique and run and sit on my back point, I might not waste an activation, but I'll force Pat to either activate Angela or Okoye to try and KO Mystique. And if Mystique gets lucky, she can live. That martial artist is really strong. So I figured that that did a twofold thing. It left Magneto free, and it gave Mystique a chance to survive a throw and an attack. I don't know, the odds weren't high, but I think they were reasonable. But what Pat did really well there was he was smart enough to realize. I mean, he's a great player, so he was smart enough to realize that Magneto had those great size 2s here and here, and his great play was using Angela to throw them into each other.
That was brilliant.
Yes, that was a brilliant move.
That was a brilliant move, and I was hoping he wouldn't do that, but I kind of knew he would. Have some play. But that was my thinking. Pat, I'm really keen to get your thoughts on which one you were more concerned I was going to do on that activation.
I was happy when you did Mystique because I felt like it was the one that I could counter the easiest. Because in that situation, right, you've used Asteroid M, Magneto is sitting on the edge of the table, and there aren't that many. The victory points are quite spread, right? And if I can escape to my right-hand side of the table away from Magneto, he's going to have a very minimal impact on the game. So my priority going into that turn was get points away from Magneto. So when you activated with a character I could easily kill and move points away from Magneto, I was like, this is great. Right? Yep. Now I chase you, kill you, and I'm enacting my game plan. And it meant that Angela was not in range to potentially be spiked by Magneto.
Yeah.
And she could just use her mobility to stay away from him. So that was what I was thinking about. But there was a lot. We both took a long time on those 2 opening activations for that turn 2, because there were so many potential lines of play. I think I took even longer than you, and we were saying to each other that I could have activated 4 of my characters. Like I could have done Okoye, I could have done Panther, I could have done Angela, I could have done Valkyrie. They all had great plays, and they all had multiple good plays. So I don't know. I think you could play just that turn in almost an infinite number of ways. My activation, then yours.
Yeah,
look, that's good feedback. And I think as well, what I said earlier is that when it's such a tight thing, a little spike either way can make a difference. So I think you nailed it, Pat, when you said earlier that I was really on the back foot the whole game based on you getting the priority and the spiders and the uneven extracts. So every play I felt I had to do, I had to take risk, and I needed dice to sort of be probably above average for me and probably below average for you to find a way to claw back. So they're normally low percentage plays, and as I said, it kind of finished like I thought it was going to finish, to be honest.
Absolutely. But just 2 more questions for you boys. So I'll start with you, Pat. I'll just get an answer from both of you on this one. Moving forward, new season, new stuff coming out, etc., etc. Do you think Angela is becoming at the point coming to the point where you either need to tech for her or bring her?
No, I think she is one of many good turn 1 play options.
Yep.
And if you have priority on some extract, she's good. But even when she does her best, like I've been using her a lot to grab extracts. I've been playing her in most of my games. And the thing is, she's 5 threat. And if your plan is to grab an extract and run away, that's actually not that good a use of a 5 threat character. So I think for that reason, she's not that concerning. She's strong, but I don't think she's overpowering.
Yeah, I asked this just because there's a lot of chat, a lot of people chatting in the stream chat right now talking about the Angela versus Modok. You know, do they have to start taking for her? And Morgs, what do you think about her, having been on the receiving end of her?
Yeah. So good comments by Pat. I don't sort of disagree. I mean, it's hard to tech against Angela. That's the thing is I'm not sure there is tech against her. To be fair, I think that inability to re-roll against her. That's really strong. So at the start of the season, I thought Angela was good. And then by the time I got to the finals, I probably realised I made a roster building mistake by not including her. I think she's decisive on certain extracts. And I think Pat demonstrated in this game how she can be decisive. And that is she can safely, doesn't matter how you do it, but you can safely grab the odd numbered extract and return out of deception range. So there is almost no counterplay whatsoever to the uneven extract steal. And as we saw there, her movement is a real problem combined with the throw in that she can move from one side of the board to the other and still daze a character like a Koye and then win the game. So I think she's incredibly strong as an extract/swing turn character that relies on dice. I love her in Wakanda for the Shuri rerolls and the Wakandan rerolls. I don't think there's a strong ability to counter her, apart from just throwing a whole bunch of dice at her, which is generally a low return for the risk. And I would love it if she was a medium and less points. But that long moving medium based on the extract play combined with the throws is just very, very difficult, and she'll be in my rosters from here forward.
Yeah, me personally, I'm just going to go down the path of possibly maybe Corvus with reality, but again, she can outpace him and run away, so I don't know if that's actually an answer. So last question just for Pat. So moving into the finals, you're either against Travis or Merzane. Any thoughts on who you would prefer to go up against?
Not really. I've not played against either of them before, so I don't know very much about how they play or their rosters. Obviously, I'll be doing some homework after this and then seeing what I might be up against. But I'd love to play against either of them just for the experience.
Merzane, very consistent player, like yourselves. A little bit more laid back, I think. He takes a few risks here and there. Travis, absolute 100% opposite of Morgan. You probably would have seen all you've got on the second turn or something crazy like that. So just a little insight for you there.
Triple E, baby. Triple E.
Channel it. Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for letting me stream it. Hopefully I can get the stream on for the finals, which would be great. But yeah, well done, boys, and unlucky Morgs, and well done to Pat.
Yeah, great game. Thanks for letting us watch it.
Thanks, guys. Well done, Pat, and good luck for the final, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you, Morgan, for being a very gracious opponent. We had an excellent game.
Absolutely.
Thanks, boys. I'm going to dive out here. Well done, guys. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this finals match. I'm going to put it on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, hello. Downloading it after this. The stream on Monday morning for Travis will also be on Twitch. We just had some Twitch technical difficulties at the start of this. And yeah, insane game. Morgan did comment leading up into this game that he thought he had about a 30% win chance, which I think he said on the podcast. So, you know, had a really good go at it, but just fell short. the strength in that Wakanda, that 17-point list that Pat has put on the table, Panther, Shuri, Okoye, Valkyrie, Angela, with his extracts is so nasty. So I'd be interested to see how Mazane or the T-Strong approaches it. So should be interesting. But yeah, but from me, that is bye for now. Thanks, guys. Take care and enjoy your Friday or Saturday wherever you are.